survivors, welcome aboard. Please fasten your seatbelts and get ready to go back in time and see what we have achieved together. Besides global campaigns, let's check out the local content that was inspired and made by you. These are possible because you played, you commented, you gave suggestions. Thank you for being a part of our journey and an inspiration to us. But worry not, this is not the finale of the journey. To mark the end of 2021, we are thrilled to present our last campaign of the year. Stay seated, the new age is coming. Survivors, welcome aboard. Please fasten your seatbelts and get ready to go back in time and see what we have achieved together. Besides global campaigns, let's check out the local content that was inspired and made by you. These are possible because you played, you commented, you gave suggestions. Thank you for being a part of our journey and an inspiration to us. But worry not, this is not the finale of the journey. To mark the end of 2021, we are thrilled to present our last campaign of the year. Stay seated, the new age is coming. Hi, survivors. Welcome aboard. Please fasten your seatbelts and get ready to go back in time and see what we have achieved together. Besides global campaigns, let's check out the local content that was inspired and made by you. These are possible because you played, you commented, you gave suggestions. Thank you for being a part of our journey and an inspiration to us. But worry not, this is not the finale of the journey. To mark the end of 2021, we are thrilled to present our last campaign of the year. Stay seated, the new age is coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Free Fire Challenge of Philippines. My name is AJ. I'm the Mustachio down here with the one and only Neptune, the Gentleman Garcia, to bring you guys all of the action from today. And I think we are stacked up for a lot of it, Neptune, after the great setup by some of these teams. I mean, Govilum Views, they've proven themselves, Eva Radicals, VPH Velocity, and it's not just them, right? A lot more are looking to put their names up there on top of the board. Yesterday was the day of discovery. Today is the day of dominance, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen a lot of action yesterday, and a lot of teams have already popped off. And for those who haven't just yet, this is their chance, because I'm pretty sure they reviewed what happened yesterday and they are applying what they have right now. But before that, I would like to thank everyone who supported this tournament, as well as our sponsors. Our sponsors, for those of you who don't know, is Infinix Mobile. They are the official sponsors of Free Fire Challenger Philippines. And to fire up your game with Infinix best-selling gaming smartphone, take the Infinix Note 11S.
No, it comes with a Helio G96 Ultra gaming processor, and it is only 9,990 pesos right now, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. It's very affordable, especially for the Filipinos right now. And for those of you who aren't here looking for a great smartphone to use for your games for Garena Free Fire, and this is your chance to get yours now. Remember, it is the Infinix Note 11S, and I don't want to repeat it, but hopefully you take note of that.
120 frames per second. That is it. That's the seller for me. I am going out to purchase one for myself right after this, if the shops are still open. We've moved our broadcast timing to a little bit later in the day. I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed. Welcome, everyone. Do not fall asleep. I'm pretty sure you will not, because the action that's about to kick off will be able to keep you up all night long. The adrenaline pumping through your veins because of, each and every single one of these teams. They don't know how to rest. They know exactly how to show us a good time. Yesterday, Neptune, we kicked things off, and things started off on a little bit of a slow note, right? For the first blood, it was 10 minutes 45 seconds, and from then on, it was non-stop action, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've already warmed up after the first two rounds, but let's check out what these teams are fighting for the league stages. As we go in for the first, it is 75,000 pesos. The second will be 50,000 pesos. We have the third with 25,000 pesos and the fourth with 15,000 pesos. As we go down the list, of fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth will be taking home 7,000 or 10,000 pesos rather, and the ninth and then until 9 and 10 will be taking home 7,500 pesos, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, the 11th spot all the way down to the 14th, 5,000 pesos, and 2,005 for those from the 15th all the way down to the 18th position. And, for anyone that's wondering, wait a minute, didn't they say it's a 1 million peso prize pool? Where's the rest of the money? Well, it is waiting for you guys on the next page, because it is in the grand finals, that one day where all of the 12 teams will jump on in for 6 back-to-back rounds. That is exactly where they'll be fighting for a whole new set of prizes. That's exactly how kind Free Fire has always been. So thank you so much, Garena. The first spot takes 400,000 pesos. How many of those no GXs can we actually get, man? Second spot, 150,000 pesos. 75,000 pesos for the third spot. Fourth place takes back 35,000 pesos. 25,000 for the fifth spot. Sixth place takes back 20,000 pesos, Neptune.
And for the seventh and eighth, they will be taking home 10,000 pesos. We have 7,500 for the ninth and 10th, and both of 11 and 12 be taking home 5,000 pesos. And AJ, I'm really happy that everyone who's participating in league stages as well as the grand finals will be taking home a prize. No one will be coming home empty-handed, but I'm pretty sure these teams are going in for the higher prizes because they want to get like a of course they need those monetary assist to get their teams going. And speaking of assist, this is what their teams will be assisting on getting those points or on getting onto the leaderboards. As we have the points right now, for the first will be 12 and then 9 going down until the 10th, and 11 and 12 will be taking no points within the round, AJ.
Yep, and each and every single kill, you get 1 point. So it's all about the golden balance, the golden ratio between the placements as well as the kill points. And it's also about the sandwich method, right? How are you going to be able to buff yourselves up with those kill points when you are a team that cannot get to that end zone? And you see, for example, let's use Eva Radicals here, right? The only team to manage to sneak into that first spot yesterday without a booyah on that side, on their side, and that just says a lot. And their consistency with their kills, the consistency with the slays out there on the battlefield has just been absolutely solid. And yes, we did see Go Willem Views step it up as well. They managed to get 2 booyahs here for themselves, and they also managed to break their own record that they set early on in the day, right? 27 points, and then later on to wrap the day up, 28 points. But they had 2 great rounds and 2 terrible rounds. So in terms of consistency, that's a little bit out. Overall, Group C is definitely the ones that I've got my eyes on here. Neptune with Vayday Esports,
Yeah.
Eva Radicals, once again, Axis, they stepped up once as well. They got a booyah there for themselves. Your dark horses of this race. But, Group A with Go Willem Views, teams like VPH Velocity, they most definitely have a lot of promise in here as well. And not leaving out Group B, AKO Ligas, Bloody Head, those that are trying to stand at the top of their groups, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we keep talking about the group of death, which is Group C, but because they have been consistent. Group C has been good with kills as well as a placement. And when we look at the averages of the teams from the groups, Group A is doing good in kills, Group B is doing good in placement. Well, compared to Group C, who's doing well on both. So hopefully these teams have already found a balance between all those kills and placement points, and they will be moving up on to the ranks. Now, this is the fight that we are waiting for. We have 6 matches that will be in store for you guys, and we will be starting it off with Purgatory and Bermuda for Group A and B, and the same will go for B and C as well as A and C. So everyone will get a piece of everyone else in this game, AJ.
Today it will be a running schedule, which means after one match we will be kicking off the next. But to most of the time, we will be keeping to the times that you see up here on the board, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. So if you're busy, if you're not going to be able to tune into the full broadcast, and you want to be jumping into just specific groups, you know exactly when to be jumping back on Go Willem Views, Bloody Head, as well as Vayday Esports, the 3 teams that we need to keep our eyes on this time round. I absolutely agree with production, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, Goblin Wheels right now with their team and their strategy. You did mention that they did well on 2 rounds and not that well on 2 other rounds. So hopefully they find that consistency in this game with Embalore, Wiz, Santino, Snakes, and Vec. They will really make a difference in this game if they'll be able to move up on the first place of the leaderboards. Going into the Bloody Heads, there are some promise with this team because we know that they have potential in going against other teams, especially in a close battle encounters, but it's more of the positioning as well as the tactics, especially the rotations. Speaking of rotations, Vayday Esports, they know where to place themselves from the start, getting all the loots that they need, moving into the other teams. But at some point, because they are more in target of some of the teams, they are being taken down midway through. Well, compared to the first round that they went into, but the rest really was a struggle for them.
Yeah, but they made themselves a target, right? I mean, let's talk about Vayday Esports. I know exactly which match you're talking about, the one where they were stuck on a platform. Technically, they were sitting ducks, man, because they refused to jump off the platform. And I believe who did they lose from the team very early on? It could have been McRory, and it was just a really late push off of the platform for them, right? And it gives you the bird's eye view. But once again, just like we discussed yesterday, you are the first one everybody wants to shoot because everyone can see you. Everybody else, they've taken those lower grounds. They are playing around their glue walls. So it's a little bit of a two-edged sword, with a tactic like that, right? But, that's with Kalahari. We're not going to be playing on Kalahari in here today. We will have Bermuda, huge open plains, but we also have Purgatory now in the mix as well. Anything that you're looking out for, Neptune?
Well, I think the water placement of the circles would be the best that we want to see in Purgatory. We've seen that for some time. We've seen that for some time, and it's not that we're making fun of the struggle, but it's just that we're happy on how well these teams are working all throughout those water final circles. And and also today is the day where we find out, because we've already had 2 maps yesterday. We have Purgatory right now. This is where we find out which of the teams are doing best on each map. Is it a map selection win for them, or is it more of the skills and rotation familiarity of what's up on from this team? So Purgatory showing up in this game is a good information as well. But AJ, I think we will expect a little slow start once again, right? Because a new map and then a new day for these teams, AJ.
I absolutely agree with you. I was about to say that as well. It's the first time you're going to be able to see them drop one in here. And regardless of what their strategies are, they have to go through the first hurdle, which is to find out whether or not they share some of these drop zones with their opponents and whether or not they are the kind of opponents they can take on very easily. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we can see the players of Go Willem Views already out in towards Marble Works, and right down below them, we have got Who's Next as well. Tokyo just a little bit too far away from the rest of the players there, but Who's Next, they are quite confident. Looking around, nobody else is dropping into their zones, and they can play all of that area, but they have to be really careful from an early rotation coming out of Go Willem Views.
Yeah, definitely, and I think VPH Velocity will be in a battle in a few seconds because we have another team against them as well. We have AKO Ligers in our sides right now, and we have another team right there hanging back very close to them, AJ. So hopefully they are prepared, and if they want to, they can take it down. But there you go. The first knockdown will be done by Mark, and this bloody Hez right now really going on fire, taking down one of No Fear, and Hive is already eliminated, AJ.
And I feel like No Fear has got a lot of fear right now. One player down already. Mark just looking for a little bit more of those players to shoot at, but they are all placed on that second floor. Question is, are they going to be able to find a couple of grenades here? None on those throwables for Monty. Let's see if or not Mark will be able to catch them. Patata right in front. Waiting Morgana from the back. One shot. Patata on the ground. Sparky pulls out the time turner, but how long is he going to be staying in there? Cryfu just jumps on into the time turner, knocks him down as well. And this is a game over, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. One final player for No Fear here, making a run for it. And I believe Mark already has information on there. Runs straight towards the window, finds him, does not find him, drops the beat as well just to recover himself before they go out for the hunt. But they're not going to be able to catch him. The guy made the right decision then after things started going so bad, so fast. The best thing you can do is just run and try to play for placements, just like what Navi did from .wys yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is still a chance for them to go in for the placement point. Tough luck, though. They've already lost 3 of the members. But we have here Equinox is going in for the battle against, if I'm mistaken, this is New Gen right here in front of them. So it's a 3-1 split. One is going in for the flank. It's Diffusal right now going in from behind. So this is a good distraction for them because this Diffusal has already been seen by New Gen. And then this is a chance for the rest of the teams of Equinox to go in for those hits from behind. But I think it will not be happening as we've seen Diffusal going back for this fight, and Cnux right now is pulling away as one more might be coming in from the side.
And let's see exactly who it is on the way to them, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I believe that's the players from Ego Oblivions on the way. Zhao gets knocked down by Jacob, deleted instantaneously as well. And here comes Twinkle in with a quick drive by Jacob. Will be able to spot them from afar, and Equinox just being fired upon. Ego Twinkle with the opportunity now to take down 2 Equinox players back-to-back here, Neptune. I think they just found their prey really well, but they don't seem to be very assertive with taking over the situation.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit delay of the action from this team. I think they've lost information on some of the members. I think Sorry hasn't been seen just yet, though they know there's one next to them, but Sorry has been seen. But I think it has been shown right now because he's shooting back against Ego right here. Now we'll have to find out how well will the rest of Equinox respond to this question being asked by Ego, and they regroup and pull back a little bit. Jacob is still on the tower looking for an enemy, and hopefully no one comes in closer to them, but I don't think anyone has those grenades ready just yet earlier on this game, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, Ego better hope they don't, man. I hate it when they sneak into those watchtowers. Twinkle from above should be able to spot Sinners. Oh, won't be able to find Sorry, just waiting for the very final moment to pop out his glue wall. But now he knows that he is just totally surrounded. Sinners won't be able to do much. I'm still wondering exactly what his ego's playing here. Sorry finally gets knocked down onto the ground. Twinkle will be able to get that kill for himself as well. And Sinex now just needs to start running. They cannot waste any more time in here.
Yeah, definitely. And I love what Twinkle is doing right now. We've seen some of the mistakes that is being done by some of the teams. They get that one down and then they force themselves into the rest of the team. But Twinkle is backing off, regrouping with the rest of Ego Oblivion right here from the tower. Hopefully they don't stay that much. They just need to get the information and then just push through. They already have one man down from Equinox, so they have a
Yeah.
chance to rotate, probably pinch them in on those compounds and take the whole squad, eliminating from them from the game. And looking at the map right now, apart from the battle that's happening, I think there's a one the south of this map wherein we have a Monkey Tribe as well as the Vindicators who might be meeting each other in a bit.
Let's see exactly what Rev has for us, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Rev Aeolus, AKO, right behind them as they try to get away from the situation. I don't know if they've got full information of AKO or not just yet. But if AKO is hurt early in this competition, perhaps that will just give Rev Aeolus the confidence that they need to, kick something off for themselves in here. So far, they haven't really been able to grab a lot from the competition. 16 points overall, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they need to like move it up. I think that was one reason, AJ, why a lot of engagement has been happening right now because they want to catch up onto the points and they want to take that opportunity to go in and take the kill points and probably balance it off with the placement points later on. But it's more of the confidence as well as the skills that they have if they can pull it off. Like AKO, right now they are getting the information. They don't want to make that mistake of losing a few members earlier onto the game, but they still are not aware that it's Rev who are in here. They know they have an opponent just waiting for them. They just need to get more information and think that Jiboiwa is on that task, AJ.
And I think Jaboiwa did exactly that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. He has gotten that information already, and now all we need to wait for is the flank that comes through from the rest of those AKO players. They are setting this fight up, but the players from Rev, on the other hand, what they want to do is just play sneaky, hiding away from Jaboiwa the best that they can. Wyatt now will be going in for the approach as he now takes those shots against Jaboiwa, who knocks him down onto the ground. And that's about it. That's the opener. Blake now on the ground as well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And this was the perfect opener for the side of AKO Ligers. And 1-2, the final player up and standing. He should be able to turn things around. Doesn't even manage to knock a single player. And that was a clean wipeout by AKO Neptune.
And a good play indeed. I mean, there is trigger discipline definitely for Rev right there, but they weren't able to respond when Jiboya went back. And I think that was one of the mistakes. They're also spread out too thin in there. That is why only 2 was waiting in the warehouse. They have been taken down. In the moment, the rest of the teams are going for the backup. 4 members are already waiting for them, cleaning them up earlier in this game. And as we look right now, speaking of cleaning it up, we have Equinox right now with 2 team members from their side, and they might be cleaned up because 2 teams will be waiting for them as well. We have Wales already in view by a Smiley, by New Gen, and then I don't think that Equinox have been seen just yet, or probably they're just waiting for their chance to go in and hit them as well. The moment that Wales might pull back from this fight.
Everybody better stay silent now, because if they start a 3-way fight now, VPH Velocity will smell that blood in the air and they will come to pick up the pieces. And that's just not going to end well for Govilam Views. We all know about their track record in here. They can set records, they can also bomb out pretty badly. And look at how the situation very quickly now turning into a 4-way as Govilam Views very smartly pulls away from this situation. It is going to be a brand new contender with this 3-way fight. The one and only VPH Velocity. A quick nade being cooked up. Phaeton follows it up as well. Double nades. Hacks one more, and that Phaeton will manage to go in there and nail Hacks down onto the ground. Are they going to be able to flush them out? Binata, he has been knocked right back down. Phaeton, he needs to pull this backstab. Manages to do exactly that. Mikey on the ground. Phaeton with the pressure, but he gets knocked down instead. And this is the part that VPH now starts to break down, but they manage to eliminate New Gen in the nick of time.
Yeah, but despite of losing Minata in there, we still have Equinox on the other side. And I think one of the kills has been stolen by Equinox on that fight, and that triggers Wheels to move into them. Well, they're not aware that it's only two members, but Wheels might be rushing into this compound where Equinox are, and this might be a battle of BPH later on, depending on how it will end on this battle of Wheels and Equinox AJ. As Embalor is moving closer and grenade gameplay is being done. Diffusal, on the other hand, going in, still taking that kill, and there goes the takedown of Embalor, and here comes the rush. Will this be enough? Embalor making a wrong turn, and there goes the push, taking down one, but Diffusal was able to hit Embalor in this fight. Where is backup Wiz right now? Will be following it up, but Santino takes that kill, and Embalor is lost in this game. Now the battle might be happening against BPH and Wheels in that moment, I think.
If only Embalori had just held back, and now it's going to be AKO versus VDR, and VDR coming in for the push. Javoiba getting stuck between two glue walls, has to go back right in there for that fight. VDR in front of him, time turner pulled out at the right moment. Javoiba manages to turn around them, sneaking around those glue walls, staying alive. Javoiba, the king of shotguns in the Philippines, Neptune, staying alive, running circles around all of them, but out of nowhere, VDR with a double vector. Toby, final player in here, he should be able to save the time now. Unknown just going out, shredding all of those players, and auto knockout has to get away.
And that is a bad play in there. Well, it's a good play, but it is a bad result coming from Auto Knockout. Here comes Who's Next going in and third-partying this game, just picking up the scraps on what happened, but will they be able to get more? Who's Next is already in here on top of BDR and Vindicators going in for that kill. Will Unknown be known right now, or will he be able to get away? Because he is being rushed, being pinched, and being shot at by these teams of Who's Next. And nowhere to turn. Who's Next was able to eliminate Vindicators in that fight.
Hey, remember what we asked? Is this gonna be a comedy, or is this gonna be a stylo Milo Who's Next? And I think Who's Next ready for the next battle already, right? 6 more teams left in here. 2 kills so far on the board, but they don't care. They just rushed into a fight where AKO Ligers just got snuffed out by VDR, and they picked up the pieces, knocking VDR out of the equation as well. And Who's Next looking for a little bit more, but as we can see, going back to the action we had earlier on, View seems to have cleaned up the party quite well, and this might just break down into a fight between VPH Velocity as well as Views. And Views, they better not get caught, but it should be a 3 versus 3, right? Because VPH might have lost one player there as well, correct, Nephew?
Yeah, I believe one has been taken out already. It's Binata has been taken down. So Wills were on a 3 versus 3. This is a good fight, but I think I'm smelling a little bit of blood right here from Bloody Heads, who might be coming in from the north. So if they don't take their time on going in the middle of that safe zone, they might be able to meet up with this with these 2 teams, and they have the advantage. They have a 4-man with them against 3 from each team of those Wheels and VPH Velocity, but they'll still have to find out how well will they do those rotations. Speaking of rotations, Monkey Tribe doing well in rotations, 1 kill for their team from Wait Lang, but they have to see on who's going to go against them. Now, speaking of going against, we have Waves right now seeing Ego, and this might be a chance for them to come back despite of losing Embalor, AJ.
Yeah, let's see exactly what they can pull off. Still looking for Wiz to pull out the camouflage action once again, shut down a couple of players and show us some crazy fights. But she hasn't been able to, get into that version of her just yet. Embalori just rushing out a little bit too early. Got a little overexcited there, Neptune, and he paid quite a high price for it. Monkey Tribe, on the other hand, they've been playing a very safe game. But now who's next going to be taking them on next? And they have to wish that Bloody Head does not get involved in this battle as well, because it's not going to turn out very well for them. Yadop, he has got that long-range engagement ability in there for him. So Monkey Tribe better be pulling back from this situation, because the last thing they want is for Bloody Head as well as Who Next to start this fight against them at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being stuck between them, looking at their position, if they go between these 2 teams, they will be easy target. And I think Wait Lang is being shot at right there, and the safe zone is closing in. So there's no way but in right there. But there goes Bloody Heads going in for that knockdown. And Mark right now still taking his time, waiting. And Seika has been taken out by Yendo. So it back-to-back from both sides, AJ, and the steal by Mark in there against Seika. So Monkey Tribe might be saying GG right now because there's no way that they might be able to have the advantage of the gatekeep being done by Bloody Heads, AJ.
Yeah, it's very interesting that Who's Next didn't actually go in there to take all of those kills. They want to play the quiet game and sneak into the final zone. I absolutely understand where they're coming from. It's something that we talked about yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Being in their position, yeah, they have to continuously do that. Play the placement points first and then get aggressive in the final zone. I mean, you have to play safe, man. At the end of the day, this is a battle royale. You get over aggressive early on. What happened to AKO Ligers? It can most definitely happen to you as well. And now Bloody Head's just trying to get away from those shots coming in from Who's Next. Who's Next? Tokyo Gooding get hit by Cryfu. Mark manages to knock him down onto the ground. But the question is, are they going to be able to kill him before Hawkeye? He goes in there for the pickup as well. Who's Next taking that aggressive fight against them. Morgana will go in there and help his teammate out as well. Mark right behind him. And this fight will not end. And we are potentially seeing Go Willem Views getting involved in this gunfight shortly as well, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. And the turn of Bloody Heads right now is towards Will, and it will be a difficult turn because it's only one who's going in for the rush. I hope takedown might happen in there for the side of Bloody Heads by Will's, but that's still left to be seen. We have Who's Next still taking shots against Bloody Heads, and Morgana going for the hit against Yado, but Sneaks taking down Janelle as well from the other side. So this is a two sets of battle happening in there at the same time, AJ.
Yeah, but Go Willem Views, they need to watch out because VPH Velocity approaching from the back. And Sneaks will be able to turn around, and it will be the grenade launcher that saves them, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Go Willem Views holding back VPH Velocity with that grenade launcher off screen. And now, with the bird's eye view, we should be able to get a little bit more information. Bloody Head, as they will try to wrap around, they are in the best position to take on Go Willem Views. But Go Willem Views with the grenade launcher in hand, I highly doubt any of those teams want to get near them now. Bloody Head, they have got the lower ground, and Who's Next, they are overall in a lot of trouble because they are the first ones who are the easiest to spot by the snipers, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they need to flank so far, and I think they take advantage of the vehicle right now, pulling out outside of the safe zone, and they will be moving in. Hopefully, they can do it quick enough without damaging themselves that much, but Bloody Heads and Wills might be in the battle as Morgana is already taking information from the other side, and there you go. Shots after shots onto Who's Next, but Who's Next might be able to get away, but Jacob was able to hit Hawkeye in that fight, and there's only one member from Who's Next remaining. Will he survive? Tokyo right now is just the only one remaining. Oh, Morgana taking that grenade launcher, and Bloody Heads with 9 kills and 3 teams already remaining, AJ.
Oh my lord, Views just stole that kill, but Bloody Heads, they stole all of Views, man. And now Monty on the ground. But don't forget Morgana, he still has got the grenade launcher on him. And Morgana now goes out for a pop. They don't have any more on them, but they will be able to pull out a glue wall and save Morty with a 4-man attack. Bloody Heads, they most definitely have the ability to be that number 1, to pick up the booyah for themselves as well. And Ego, they've managed to sneak into the final zone already. And now, no, the camouflage pulled out at the wrong time, and now Jacob, the final player left in here, can he even take down one player? It's a little bit too late. What a victory, what a booyah, picked up by the very promising Bloody Head.
Morgana as their MVP, and both Mark and Cryfu, I think they're cheering on as they took this first booyah of today, and I think it's worth all the comments that we've provided them so far, AJ, because we keep calling them out for round after round that they are playing, how well they need to go in for the tactics as well as the rotation. So if they have done it right now, I doubt that they won't be able to do it the next time in this game, AJ.
I mean, they were very consistent yesterday, and they had brought that consistency in here today with a little bit more sharpened plays, right? And this is that team that, we have been believing in for a very, very long time now. This is the team that we talked about so much, where those improvements have been very minor, little by little, building up over time. And here is exactly where Bloody Head stands, right? Because I believe yesterday they finished off at about in the 6th position, but now with the booyah, they should be able to climb up a little bit. But the important part here is when Bloodyheads were in the 6th spot, they were not really that far away from that 4th and 3rd spot, were they? They just needed about 13 points to catch up, and getting that number of kills there earlier on, picking up the extra 12 points, really going to help them, just closer that gap. But, against teams like EVA Radicals Neptune, this performance from the Bloodyhead team is not enough. They need to be able to hit back in the exact same way once again after this. Will they be able to provide us with that consistency? I'm very curious to see exactly how they're going to take this, man. Because remember, Go Willem Views.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I mean, I don't know if Wales is playing the stock right now, moving up and down on that graph, but hopefully they'll be able to maintain that. But yeah, a good thing about the Bloodyheads as well, we've been looking for them. I mean, looking out for them, waiting for them to pop off. This is the first time that they will be showing us that they have what it takes, and it's just a consistency of moving up or probably staying on the top, and not really consistent on moving up and down, because that there's also consistency in there. Hopefully it doesn't happen for Goblin Wheels as we always see. I mean, up one round, down one round. So hopefully that change, and also for other teams as well, AJ.
Let's talk about what went wrong this time, because this time they were up down. Yesterday, Go Willem Views, they finished on the up. So it just made sense that this round they were about to suck. I'm sorry, right? They just went back down. And it all started off with Embalore. He could have been a little bit more patient. He could have just waited for his friends to catch up with him. But he was so confident that he was going to be able to find this kill. And he just walked straight into the den of his opponents. And it was just a little bit too easy for them to turn things around, right? And that was just a very messy play, if you ask me, from the side of Go Willem Views. On the other side, AKO Ligers, I thought they were doing really well, man. I mean, your boy, when he was flying around with a shotgun Neptune, he was doing a lot. And then out of nowhere, just 3 back-to-back kills. I don't even know exactly what happened in that situation.
Yeah, I think it's more of getting too close and getting stuck with a lot of glue walls. And here is where they popped off. Really, they showed us that they have what it takes to go in and take a lot of kills as well as clean up. They did it first, but unfortunately, the moment that they went in onto another team, they are out in the open, probably not really thinking of who might be going against them from the sides. They went in too close and got stuck, really. I mean, it was back and forth for the kills from both teams, and they just lost all or most, apart from one, which is Toby, and this is what we're talking about. It is Toby, the only one remaining right here, and it was just back and forth of kills, plus another team might be going against them, which is who's next. So Real didn't give them a chance to go and pick up the rest of their members.
And Bloodyhead obviously finishing this in the best of way possible. Cryfu got knocked down first, and then they picked him up. It was just so clean from them. And 25 points. My, oh my, that's not too bad at all, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting close to the teams who are always consistently getting in on the top. 12 placement points plus 13 kills. So 13 kills is more of the average of the top 3 teams that we often seen on the leaderboards right here. So it's a good start for Bloodheads right now. Hopefully they'll be able to continue this on all throughout all the rounds for today.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Bloodyhead most definitely have managed to catch up with a team like VPH Velocity. Remember VPH Velocity, they were sitting down in the 3rd spot at 50 points yesterday, right? So this is going to be something that VPH Velocity really needs to think about, because the same exact mistake made by Go Willem Views was made by VPH Velocity, where we had one player go in there for the rush a little bit too early. The backup just couldn't come through. Phaeton just tried to overextend, but then by the time he went in there, they were lucky that they didn't lose Phaeton in that fight as well, because that would have probably been the end for VPH Velocity, right? They would have definitely suffered a huge loss in this particular round, and that was a good backup there from the rest of his team members. But overall, Bloodyhead's just doing so well for themselves in this round. It's just the curious case of consistency. But Ego Oblivions, Neptune, That I did not
Yeah.
expect.
I mean, we are seeing them being a little bit on the safe side. Yes, it did work because the placement point has
Yeah,
already been captured in there on with 9 points.
yeah,
The kills of 4 is really great because despite of the situation that they were on earlier in those match, they were in the distance, but a lot of teams might had a chance to gatekeep them. They were able to rotate
yeah.
and make it up onto the final circle. So good job to those teams in the top 3. And once again, we're waiting for consistently better gameplays from you guys because that's what we love seeing. Teams who are down bottom the leaderboards evolving and moving up slowly, and
Yeah,
probably by the end of grand finals or by the grand finals, we might be seeing a different set of teams in there in the top 12. So that's what
yeah.
everyone is aiming for the league stages.
And let us not forget, right? There's a reason why I said I was surprised by Ego Oblivions. Because this is not the first time they're getting into that final zone. This is the second time. And there is consistency out of Ego Oblivions because in the final match yesterday, Ego Oblivions, they managed to get into the final zone. I think they took the second position, but they only had 1 kill. So they had 10 points overall. Today, they had more than those 10 points. So the consistency is good. They managed to get the second spot once again. So they know exactly how to maneuver into the final zone, man. And this is on a whole new map altogether. So they are able to sustain themselves. They're just not able to, handle a lot of these gunfights, which they really have to start improving on Neptune. But I really like it from Ego Oblivions, right? Keep getting into that final
Yeah.
zone and keep looking for the kills only in that final zone because you do not have to put yourself at risk so early on. But of course, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we round it back up into Bermuda, the first one for the day. And this will be between the groups A and B as well.
Yeah, definitely, and a good point as well for Ego Oblivion. So, I think this is for me assuming what their tactics is
Mm,
they might be going in trying to find out how to put themselves in good placement points earlier on, and then
yeah,
later on, once they get the positioning, get the rotations, well, like put it into heart that this is what we can do to get that consistency on the placement. They can go in and look for some fights when they are taking those rotations. So it's more of a learning curve for some of the teams right here who doesn't just go in and go
wow.
aggressive all the time. Looking back into the map right now, I think most of the teams right now are spread out, so this might be longer apart from No Fear and Monkey Tribe, who's in
Uh-oh.
the middle of the map, AJ.
Uh-huh. And Equinox Diffusal, he kind of jumped out of the flight a little bit late, but thankfully he managed to catch up with the rest of his team members. This Monkey Tribe, like you said, with No Fear, the ones that are closest to each other. But apart from that, everybody else seems to have been spread out quite well on the map, Neptune. And, let's see if or not this will pan out a little well for Monkey Tribe. They have been struggling in the competition thus far. Yesterday, they kind of ended up with, um, I don't know, 10, 12 points. They didn't really do very well, right? They
Mhm.
were just monkeying around, no pun intended. But today, maybe it can be a different story.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's more of how well these teams are improving from time to time. And I think going into Bermuda, the one reason why everyone else is spread out is because this map has been played yesterday, and I think they were able to review what drop
Yeah,
points might be taken by some of the teams. So they already have some idea on which one will not be taken by most of the team. So apart from Monkey Tribe and No Fear, who might have thought of the same thing, so the rest of the teams already have it planned out, and this might be happening all throughout today because they have been safe, looting up already, and just looking and preparing for the next battle to unfold. So hopefully they will be able to continue this on, and well, probably not too much, AJ, because we want to see engagement earlier on these rounds.
I absolutely agree with you, right? And but the probability of not being able to see a first split for quite a while, or even if we do see a first split and then go into a dry spell for a little bit, is most definitely there because these teams, they just don't have any necessary reasons to start fighting right now. We have
Mhm.
seen this so many times as to how those early engagements have turned out so badly for some of these teams, and it doesn't really matter who you are, man. I mean, you can be AKO, you can be views, you can definitely be views. They're gonna be like, why do you keep teasing us, Mustachio? I mean, I love you, Gobi Muse. That's why, right?
Yeah.
I want to see Gobi Muse just like shine all the time because when they do well, oh my lord, do they do well? I'm a huge fan of Embalori, and yesterday, Wiz, it's not once, it's not twice that magical lady, she pulled out the camouflage right in front of her opponents, I think 3 times, and she managed to fool all of them in those fights. So amazing plays, right? Finally, your first split comes through, and it is the monkey tribe that goes down. It's still monkeying around Neptune.
Yeah, hopefully this doesn't happen too often. And as you look at the minimap, no one from the monkey tribe is like approximately near from this area. So who's next has definitely got an easy kill right there, easy point, and I guess they have to look for the rest of the teams in there. But speaking of looking for rest of the teams, we have Rev who's still looking out for some loots, and Wheels who might be going in for an early engagement. If they move up a little bit higher into the north, they might be seeing a Rev right there, and gunshots is already being heard, AJ.
Yep, Jaboyeva just surrounding Zhao. This might just be a possible encounter here for the players of Auto Knockout as they try to get in towards the edge of that safe zone. And now Equinox going to be backing away. They can't run away from AKO Ligers because of that danger zone. And this is just the universe telling them, okay, now's your time. AKO's going to come look for some kill points.
I think the danger zone is a signal that AKO Ligers is there, because there's not just once but twice that we've seen AKO Ligers just in there, and then the danger zone will be popping off right near or on top of them. So I think they have to look out for that danger zone and know that AKO is in there. But Sword was able to go over the kill against Jers, and there you go, Xenox, just in time for that time turner. And Xenox right now will be backing off a little bit, going in for the rotate. Jiboya is just looking out as well, but Xenox is still on the clear. Might be going in against Toby in this play, but just going in, out, and back and forth on this compound, AJ.
Yeah, great play from Xenox here with the shotgun. He's super confident that all he needs is one player right in front of him. Sorry, going to be backing him up as well with a shotgun in his own hands. It's all going to be about those close-range combat with those shotguns. Jaboyeva now not going to be setting a great option here, and therefore he chooses to take that long-range fight against Refusal, who's backed away, trying to cover the team from afar. Zhao as well taking a higher ground, trying to see if or not he can back the team up. So they're just leaving it to 2 close-range combat players, right? Sorry. And he has to be careful here because Xenox has left his side already, and it's going to be quite troublesome if they do manage to get a knock on him, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this trip is a good way to fight on if you get a proper location. I mean, proper position, because there's a lot of compound in here that you can hide into. You can switch over from one house and the other without being seen that much. And I think that's what AKO is doing right now. They're trying to pull up or pull out from this game because they don't have the height advantage as well as the visibility of all of the team members. It's a good plan as well for Equinox because there's only 2 members that is being seen and like distracting everyone else, and then Xiao and the rest of the Xiao and one more was in here in the watchtower just getting all those information. But Jiboy right now, I mean, Jiboy was really having fun on the motorcycle, AJ.
I think a little bit too much of fun. I think a little bit of too much of fun. Was it AKO as well that played around on the motorcycle yesterday too long and then got blown up?
I
It was them, wasn't it?
believe so. Yeah, if I'm mistaken, yeah. They tried the vehicle gameplay, but it didn't work
Yeah.
out for them that much.
Let's see if or not it will be any different today. Equinox still in here with a full squad. Nobody else disturbing them at the corner of Bima Sakti Strip. And I believe that's just VDR at the edge of the screen there. And they will be able to rotate over. Go Willem Views, on the other hand, going to be spotted by the players of Rev Aeolus. Santino, is he going to get knocked down here? Wyatt with the opportunity. Oh, and he does manage to get the knock. One more. And Malore in front of him. Wyatt actually gets the kill onto Santino. What a huge deal this is. And now Rev Aeolus, they have got the opportunity to turn things around. Wiz is coming in here for the push. And Wyatt, he just backs away. He jets out of that situation looking for cover. This is what we're talking about. You need some backup from your team members, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it might be very difficult. I mean, they are showing up right now. Rev is showing up right now, going against Wheels, but it might be difficult for them because I'm just looking at the numbers from yesterday's game, and Bermuda is a sort of a map for Wheels on this set of groups, Group A and B. So if they don't do that well on the tactic as well as the rotation against Wheels, like I'm talking about Rev, Wheels might be getting back on them, and there you go. We have Benny going in for that takedown. All they have to do right now is finish them off. Otherwise, Cnox or Sneaks might be pulling back up, and then it will be the end of Rev if they manage to rotate against them.
Yeah, I think Go Willem Views kind of misunderstood me when I said I wanted consistency. I meant I wanted good consistency, not bad consistency. And now this is a terrible consistency as they get taken down way too early. Two of their players have managed to jet out of the situation already, though, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So Reveolis, the biggest winners in this, and Wyatt, the guy to start everything off, right? And, you know, I don't think Go Willem Views kind of saw that whole situation coming through, but you always need to be ready to anticipate some of these situations. And they just didn't respond in the best way possible. The backup was just a little too slow with the glue wall. Ego now eliminated with their final player, Jacob, getting taken down, and VDR made sure that was just way too easy for them. And now they get to rotate over through Cape Town in towards the next safe zone at Carrollton.
Yeah, and looking at Embaloria, I think they're taking a vehicle right now and trying to stroll through around far flank coming from them, but they might be in the faces of Bloody Heads or probably Equinox as they push in to the safe zone. Now going in to No Fear right now with two members on the screen on the minimap where the rest they need to regroup because this moment, AJ, wherein teams are already warmed up. They want to be, I mean, you want to be at the same spot at the same time because you might be taken out one at a time, especially if, like, for instance, Jiboiwa, he might be going solo right now. But the moment that he got you off guard, you might be taken out that quickly, and then Jiboiwa will just run away and flee off, regroup with their teammates. So let's see how will this work. I think the motorcycle is already done, and here comes the rest of No Fear going in for the push.
Let's see if or not they will be able to get a clean job done here. As No Fear, they spread apart a little too thinly for my liking here, Neptune. You know, something similar can break down onto them as well. You know, you get knocked down, and just like what happened to Go Willem Views, you don't get to go in there for that backup, you know, soon enough. If you do want to spread apart, I mean, the best option to do here, especially in Free Fire, is to have that two combo, right? You stick by each other, you split up into a duo, and then you try to go out, get as much information as possible, but you never try to engage. And even if you do engage, you just pull out those glue walls and you stick by for that backup. And, you know, not a lot of those teams play that game of patience now, do they?
Yeah. I mean, is trigger discipline and patience. At some point, it really worked because we've seen it work from some of the teams. Well, for some, not really, because they could have like they were patient enough and disciplined enough not to fire, but when they went into the engagement, they were taken down. So it's more of perfect timing as well. And I think Bloody Heads is timing it well with a new gen in here in this game, AJ. All right, so Bloody Heads right now is in here going in for that, going in for those hit, and no takedown is happening just yet. Now, Wheels is getting too close in this fight. The new gen right now is just getting, like, waiting for their chance to get an opening against Bloody Heads. Going in and switching over to the Vindicators, and they are in the fight. I think Jiboiwa is in trouble right now, and here we go. The time turner has been pulled in time, but Unknown is already in there, and the pinch is being done. It's just time before Jiboiwa loses it, and Unknown is just roaming around. The rest of the teams cannot find Jiboiwa, and finally, Cyborg goes in for that hit, and Jiboiwa going a little bit too far from the rest of the teams. Well, that is the end of him without the motorcycle trying to get in and regroup where the teammates, well, Jiboiwa is already down. But Zio was able to go in for that kill against Rezus, and VPH might be going in against the Vindicators on this battle, AJ.
Yeah, and it almost looks like AKO Ligers just don't want to win. They seem to be throwing the match, if you ask me, right? Because there's so many things that they could have gone in there and done. There's so many plays Jaboywa could have opted to go in for, but it was just the vehicles that he just stuck on with. But, I see exactly where they're coming from. A team like
Mhm.
AKO Ligers, they don't want to be painting a huge target on their backs just yet as the apex predator of this league, man. We know exactly what happens. Everybody starts gunning for you. Everybody starts looking into your strategies. Everybody starts looking at your drop zones and hyper focusing in on you. And I feel like AKO Ligers are playing it cool. Now, the beat's getting dropped quite a lot here in this competition after the new meta has come in here, just to disable some of these people, right? Recovery's just really been a important factor for a lot of these players. Survival is at the end of the day. Equinox trying to get in towards the next zone. They can do that. And was that Go Willem views off screen that got knocked down, Neptune? I missed that.
Yeah, it was Governor Wheels, and I think it's VDR going against them in that fight. And if they take down Wheels, and Wiz has been eliminated as well, together with Embalore, VDR has clearly identified that Wheels is an easy target at that point, having only a few members on them. But the question is, how well will they be able to go in and rev right now, going in for the kills? I don't know what's happening, AJ. AKO and Wheels being eliminated with still 9 teams remaining. Not quite sure how these teams are making this work. And to tell you, we are in Bermuda, where everyone is familiar of this map, AJ.
I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm just going to say that these guys are losing on purpose because they don't want to be hunted down like criminals later on, okay? They just want to play a clean match. They want to hit that, the hundreds of thousands of pesos. They don't want to be playing for small money. Oh, my Lord, Morgana, calm down. The grenade launcher from the top, too easy. And now Morgana just using the tree trunk for backup now, not even wasting the glue walls, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Can we just talk about how amazing Bloody Head is in this competition today? They shined yesterday. They continue to shine in here today as well. Now, VDR, they have got the location right down below, and Bloody Head, they have to be really careful. Sparky right behind. Morgana just cooks up that nade once again in the grenade launcher. Is he going to go in there for that hit? He needs to be really careful as to when he does manage to go in there for the pop. VDR on his left-hand side, who can come in here and finish off the works.
Yeah, I mean, it is a mess right there. And there you go, finishing off by Morgana in there. Well, the grenade launcher will not work, but the sniper will. Maute right now will try to go in for the hit, but I think Raifu will be in trouble. Here comes VDR going for the rush, but Cyborg finishing it off, and Maute will be knocked down. Morgana is only remaining. He needs to be quiet. He needs to be tactical in this game because getting too close, plus the safe zone right there, it might be disadvantage or disadvantage at this point, and he needs to heal up. Otherwise, they will be taken down, and there goes Bloody Head eliminated, and Rev is still at it. And here we have 1-2 going 1-2-3 against Monkey Tribe, but will be taken down by Reviols will be taken down in there by Who's Next from the far side, and a good placement for the teams, AJ.
Yeah, Who's Next? Just the biggest winner overall. VDR still alive and kicking. VPH Velocity says bye-bye as well. 5 more teams left on in here. Everybody focusing in on VDR right now, the apex predator of this particular lobby. And Who's Next? Like you said, Neptune in the best position of all. They are just going in there, firing down. Yado manages to get the kill onto Cyborg as well. Unknown still alive and kicking, and I believe that Glue Walls is helping him hold on, but for how much longer? And now, Who's Next? They are being a little silly here. They are wasting their time on one player. They need to start rotating already because the next zone is quite far away from them. So they have to stop focusing on Unknown right now, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. They need to stop focusing on Unknown, and they might be going against No Fear from above, but I think one has been taken out already. Despite of the numbers that they have, and there go, the indicators will be eliminated. Despite of the numbers that they have a 4-man team, and the rest of the teams right here have less than that. They still need to be tactical in going in for the push. Imperos will be in here picking up Patata, and it's still a 3v4 situation against Who's Next, and Mobsty will be taken down, but there's still shots in there from the other side as Pan tries to survive this battle, still going in for this push and being run down. And there goes Monkey Tribe eliminated, but Imperos will not stop with the backstab, and this is No Fear against Who's Next, AJ.
Oh, look at those nades just coming in there, raining down. A quick flash as well. Tokyo will be able to drop down in Pettis. And who's next? They are in the best position to go in here for the win now. Are we going to be able to see a melee kill coming through as well? And Pettis gets deleted first. And Tokyo goes in there for yet another nade. Are we going to be able to see Papaya? Oh, no! He gets knocked out as well. Hive, the one player who manages to still stay alive, gets a headshot, goes in for a knock. Hawkeye as well as Tokyo stay alive. And they get the booyah for who's next. We asked a question, a simple question. Is it a joke or are they for real? They are most definitely for real now, Neptune, as who's next finally tune their best plays for the Free Fire Challenges Philippines.
This is what we're waiting for this team. I mean, Funky, Hawkeye, Tokyo, and the rest of the teams right now have already made their mark already. And they responded to the question, AJ, to what they have to offer in this game. And we can see how happy they are on that booyah, AJ. And that's what we love. And that's what we love. We call them out. They respond, and they have fun as well.
Yeah, absolutely love it, man. Absolutely love the performance from Who's Next. And it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't an accidental win. It was well thought out. The rotations were superb. The angles that they were holding on to were superb as well. Some parts of the fight that broke down was most definitely Lady Luck smiling down upon Who's Next. But it's all about who makes the best opportunities of those moments, right? And they took the best opportunities. And yes, they were focusing way too long on that one player from No Fear. But even as they did that, they were already having the rest of their players going in there for that early rotation. And that's very important, Neptune. Instead of all four players just continuously draining themselves out, losing their resources just for one extra kill point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they need to be tactical at that point, and I think that's what they did. I mean, they split up for quite some time. They need to get information on who else is within that smaller circle on that safe zone, and then probably focus back on that single player that they are trying to kill later on. And that's what happened. Who's next? Really showing us that they are next on our list to look out for, AJ.
And I want to look out for them, but can we please talk about Govilam views for a moment, please? We expected them to bounce right back up. We were just talking about the graph, right? We were just talking about how, just like stocks, they go up, they go down. But this time, I guess just like stocks, man, when you expect it to rise back up, when you expect that, you have read everything about it and you know this so well, and you expect them to do well, they make you lose some money and more. Go with views. What's going on there, Neptune?
Yeah, I mean, we're expecting them to be better at this game. I did mention that Bermuda is their game. They have a higher average kill in this map against everyone else from Group A and B. And I think that was like that one miss that they made and pulled out from that fight with the two remaining members of they have. They really have to work on that. Stick together and also be tactical on how to go in for those push. Don't split up that much, because that's how Mvalore was taken out from the first round that we've seen them go into. And then this time it's a different story, but still the same result.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And Go With Them views, obviously, not going to be happy about that. We can expect them to try to fight their way back in here, but they have to wait now. They have to wait patiently for match number 5 and 6, because now they will have to rest. We will have to make way for Group C. Group B will still stay in here for the fight, though, to complete their 4 matches, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. And I know a lot of fans out there, a lot of survivors out there are waiting for Group C, because they've given us a lot of great performances from yesterday, and we're still expecting a lot more. So if it's great already, hopefully it's greater this time. But as we look into the round standings of match number 2, who's next taking the first in there, the booyah in this game with a total of 26 points, AJ. Not bad really for who's next. 14 kills, and then plus the placement points, is a great start for them in this game. Vindicators, and they're going for second with 16 points and the 10-point lead right there. If we take out the placement point, it's still a good start for who's next in this game. No Fear, Monkey Tribe, those who we keep saying that hasn't performed so much on the previous day are now showing up, and this is what we love. We want to see most of or all of the teams from below to move up round after round after round, AJ.
Yeah, but I expected to see Ego Oblivions up there as well, right? It's really hard to maintain the consistency here for some of these teams, and it's going to be a problem overall. Monkey Tribe, yes, they are in the 4th position, but can they stop monkeying around and get into that final zone with more players? Because look at this, man. 8 with the placement points. They're delighted. 10 points overall, but the kill points only 2. And, you know, who's next? It wasn't an all right game. It was a hell of a good game. This was the best game that they've had all competition, and hopefully this shows them that they are most definitely a team that can hang in there with the top dogs, and not just hang in there, but be able to knock them down as well, right? And this is the perfect adrenaline boost that they need, because as they prepare themselves for Group C, things are just going to get a little harder, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. And as we go into the recap, so round number 1 has been taken by Bloody Heads, one of the team that we are really hyping to show up. And going to round 2, another team. I mean, I love our job. I love the job that we're doing right now, AJ. We call out the
people.
teams. No, I mean, we call out the teams who need to perform, and they do it. I mean, I'm feeling really motivated because we're acting like a motivator for these teams, or hopefully they're not mad at us and then just showing up because, hey, this is for you, Neptune and AJ. This is what we can do.
Even if they do get mad at us, but they show up, they're still showing up, and I will be happy, man, because at the end of the day, what we want them to do is continuously step it up, right? Because look at Bloody Head, look at how they're continuously climbing up that ladder. But that was just performance in one round. In this previous round, Bloody Head, they didn't really hit as hard as they did previously, right? Placement points, they only managed to pick up 3 for themselves, overall 4 kills. So it's a little painful for Bloody Head, but overall in the competition, they've managed to slot themselves there into the 3rd spot. Go Villain Views in that 2nd place. Eva Radicals, my friend, my dear friend, they weren't even playing, and they're still there at the top. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's because they have been consistent for the games, for the rounds that they are playing, and that's what we're asking for most of the teams. Like Goblin Wheels right here. Yeah, they played, they didn't do that well, but if in case they did well, they might be on the top right now, and they need to be aiming for that. We like to see Goblin Wheels right here to be consistently on the top. But let's check out who among these team members who is the MVP from Group A and B. And there you go, Bloody Heads Morgana with a total damage of 4,876, 10 kills. And I think, AJ, that's a record for the kills.
Did someone also get a 10 kill? I don't think he broke it. I think he just equaled the... Was it Embalore? But one of it. But definitely, you know, high number of kills in here for Morgana. I think you might even be right, Neptune. I think the highest one could have been 9 as well, right? But, you know, overall, Morgana definitely had quite a great run in here. And it's just so delightful to see Bloody Head up on our MVP list. Yeah, there you go. Embalore had the 10 kills as well. So he's equaled up the, you know, points here. He's not really taken over, not really broken the record just yet. But in terms of really putting Bloody Head on the map, Morgana has done a fantastic job in here so far. And I just want them to continue doing that. But let's look at this guy's hit rate just to lose our minds a little bit. 70.3, Neptune.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're choosing I mean, getting your aim and getting that hit. That is what Morgana is good for. And I think there's a more we can see from Morgana and the rest of Bloody Heads on these games because
Yeah,
they pop off from day number one. Well, at some point they might have lost some of the rounds, but they went back up, and right now they are showing us that they have what it takes to go in and be consistently well at this point. But hopefully, we'll
yeah.
see more of them as we go in onto the next set of groups, AJ.
Yeah, and we still have Bloody Head in here. They will be able to still perform because they are in Group B. But now Group C comes into the mix. And in Group C, we have got a few big, very, very big concerns for all of these teams, mainly in the name of EVA Radicals. I mean, their radical approach to some of these matches just throws some of these teams off guard. And, they're so aggressive, they're so assertive. And we see EVA Radicals just breaking apart. And, the solo plays by Aguila, that's just perfection, beauty of Free Fire on its own, Neptune. The guy has got so much of guts and he almost never fails. And the backup's almost always there, right? And we talk about how it's great to go in this 2-2 split. You don't really leave one guy all alone. It doesn't apply to Aguila.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he can go in there and rush like I think it is an under bridge rush that he did yesterday, and he can finish them off. It's more tactical as well. And one thing about that is how well the rest of EVA Radicals respond if that happens. Because one guy can go ahead, but the rest of the teams will be following just behind, just in case the worst happen, they can go in for the pickup and then finish up the rest of the opponents at that point, AJ.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, right, Neptune? It's all about the rotations that come in there from the rest of their team members, that even as Aguila goes in, and he's usually the first guy to make a lot of noise, right? Usually on a motorcycle, he makes a lot of noise, pulls away all of the attention, and there's always the flank, there's always the sweep from the back, and just when all three players are focusing on that one sure kill of that Aguila, even if he gets knocked down, that team's done so because the rest of the team, EVA Radicals, are just wiping them out. Vete Esports, another dangerous team per se in terms of their names. But yesterday was just a day of them tossing a few good Kobe's, but just flatting out all the way through, apart from that, right? In the 8th position right now, as we saw the update of the leaderboards earlier on. But of course, they didn't play the first 2 matches, so it's not really their true position. I'm very sure they'll be able to continuously climb up. And, teams like Who's Next, they have to continuously bring in this consistency in order to stay at the top of the pack, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Who's Next? We've seen them go in, pop off, and then like wade off towards the end of the series. On the other hand, we have Veda Esports. I mean, the team itself. We know the team. We know that they can do well, but there's a tendency for them to also go down in the middle towards the series and then later on creep back up. So I think it might be the same pattern. Hopefully it will not be read by some of the teams right now and just pin them on that middle spot. So but still, this is the league stages, and everyone's what everyone's aiming for is to get to the grand final. So whether as long as you're on the top or on top 12, I think they're still good, because once they go into the grand finals and probably take that first place, that's where everything will make a difference, AJ.
And that's exactly what's so, I wouldn't say, annoying, but annoying. It's just that some of these teams, they're not playing the best of their games. There's no way in hell AKO Ligers thought that the strategy that they pulled off in the previous match was a very good strategy. There's no way at all they were being serious. It was more towards just going out there, looking for a little bit of extra information and being, very sure as to how they're going to be taking some of the future fights. Because like you said, Neptune, it's all about trying not to be the final six in the competition, right? Trying to get into the
Yeah.
grand finals as the top 12 and not from the 13th to the 18th spot. As long as that's fine, you are all good. You can still go into the grand finals and, earn really, really big bucks, earn a huge name for your brand. But of course, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, let's go in there, hit that reset button in terms of those maps and drop back into purgatory. This time, Group B plays it for the second time, but Group C says hello to us for the first time in the day, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. The first time that Group C will be playing Purgatory in the Free Fire Challenger Philippines. This is where we are going to find out which of these teams are really well, because we will have, or after this game, we'll have more information of the drops as well as the rotation of each team. So after this match, they will have most of the information, unless like what we were talking about earlier, some are pulling back on some of their tactics and not really showing us what they have. And surprisingly, AJ, if you look at the map right now, Veda Esports is spread out. So not quite sure if this is intentional or probably a fluke. We'll have to find out later on, AJ.
It's not a fluke, man. I mean, I'm looking at their gameplays. I mean, come on, Neptune. We've done this. We've danced this tango so many times already. We've seen these pros played out. We kind of know with their styles if or not they're being serious in these matches, and it's for very understandable reasons. The prize pool is 1 million pesos, my friend. That's not small money, And everybody wants to get up onto the top, but Aguila, he will strike first as he knocks down Blocky onto the ground and punishes him instantaneously to get the first blood. And Eva Radicals, they will be on the hunt for a few more kills. Navi will be able to knock Sorry off screen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and then delete him instantaneously as well. WYS, Strot WYS, what is the play here? They seem to be taking this fight against two different teams, and we don't see the rest of those players.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see more of these teams. Yeah, I mean, there are tactics that they go in for a split, but hopefully we are. I mean, I think the best distance, AJ, when you look at your teammates in there when you split up, is the minimap. As long as you can still see them on the minimap, then you will be able to get back on track or regroup with them when you pull out. So I think that would be one thing that they need to work on. It There's a certain perimeter that they need to secure if they try or plan to go about and get information. But looking into AV right now, they are now regrouping and going back to Marble Works for some loots and probably prepare for the teams who might be going against them, as VDR goes down into this hill and getting close to access on the moat house, AJ.
I'm just imagining the conversation between the team members, right? Like, bro, can you at least just stay on the minimap where I can see you? Stop running away too far. And I agree with you, man. I mean, you got to be, close enough for at least your team members to help you up when you mess up, man. I mean, like, even in Valore earlier on, his team members were quite close by, but unfortunately not close enough. Cyborg gets knocked down and deleted way too quickly by Axis' Mr. Ong. And VDR, a team that was hitting hard earlier on, doesn't seem to be hitting hard against Axis. You may say that's a very, very, I guess, lucky kill that Mr. Ong got, but VDR, they just overextended so far out. We were just talking about keeping a tight grouping.
Yeah, they are a duo right there, but one pulled out without any backup. But going back into the game, Monkey has been taken down from Trot WYS, and they are going against Eva Radicals. And AV will be in here as well. So this is a 3-team battle, AJ, that we're looking at.
And Navi, the question is he going to be able to get out of the situation? Eva Radicals, Fura steps by right beside him, and the rest of the Eva Radicals players are coming in here for the kill. Time turner, but a vehicle straight to the face. Navi goes down, deleted by Fura as well. And that's exactly how Eva Radicals gets it done.
I would like to see a meme come out that will be shown of the Eva Radicals tactics. Like, everyone will be moving out, jumping out sideways because that's what we keep seeing after they go in for the hit. I mean, Aguila, Fury in there with the vehicle gameplay, the rest of the teams. This is what I love about this team. They
Oh, they
use the
spotted him.
vehicle to their advantage, and another team might be against them. And Aguila, too bold to go in for that hit in between Equinox as well as AV. And I don't know what's going to happen here, AJ.
Oh, Barba now getting stuck, pulls out the glue wall, recovers himself. But look at this, AV. They're not really going in there and pressuring him at all. And they are going to be allowing him to recover from this situation. AV Crusaders, one huge mistake that they make. And now the rest of the EVA Radical players are in there. Fura will be able to knock down VMAT. Morris taken out. Fura, oh, too clean, too easy. EVA Radicals on fire.
And this is what I love about this team. They go in against one team despite of knowing that there's also Equinox on the other side. So it's more of priority as well as a timing. And now they are going against Equinox. Fury right now still furious in this game and going in for the rush despite of being shot at. And the rest of the teams are in there. On the other side, we have a different team going against each other. Bloody Heads and Beta Esports as well, but focusing back on Eva Tanamo for that hit against the Fusel, and this is a chance for Eva Radicals once again to clean up this crew.
Man, look at Aguila, man. I mean, these guys, they're just so daring with all of their approaches. And now Sinux right in front. Tanamo rotating over to him as well. Aguila just wants to run him over now. Tanamo stealing the kill away from afar. Morgana with the crazy nade takes down two players from the side of WayJ Esports. McRory now not picked up just yet, but Forbits is back on his feet. Mark on the ground. Bloody Head, are they going to be able to finish them off? WayJ Esports, they stand back up, but Daymoon gets knocked down onto the ground by Morgana, and back and forth this fight goes. Bloody Head now getting squeezed into a corner and snuffed out by VJ Esports.
And this is what I love about Beta Esports. The moment that we jump in here, it was a disadvantage by Beta Esports. I think two-man has been down already for this team before Bloody Heads was able to rush in. But the moment that team member has been picked up, they just went in and pounced against Bloody Head. And definitely, Bloody Head has Bloody Head right now because they'll be waiting for their chance to go in the battle for the next round.
It's an unfortunate situation that VJ Esports was just ready for a battle at that point. And you're right, man. Bloody Head, they had the advantage at that forefront. A double nade coming through. McRory as well as Forbits on the ground. But the first player that they go in there to pick up was Forbits. They leave McRory first. And Forbits is just the kind of player you want in that CQC combat, right? I mean, McRory, he's usually the guy who starts the fights, not the one who ends it. You need Forbits. And it was just a smart play, smart decision-making coming through from the players of EVA Radicals. Auto knockout Ligers on the other hand, ladies, German boys, girls, they've got this whole compound all to themselves. 0 kills on board so far. They are not looking to over-aggress. They are not looking to overextend. They're just looking for that final circle. The question is, are they going to be able to find it this time round, Neptune?
Yeah, I mean, they might be able to find it, but the question is, are they still a full team after they found it? Because so far, once they go into the final circle, I mean, it's either one member, two members in there, and then they're a big disadvantage. And there's no going back. As the moment that you lose one of your members, it's really very difficult to get a full tactic against some of the teams who are full squad or probably fully prepared and already have their positions on the final circle. So hopefully that doesn't happen for AKO. Once again, VDR on the other hand, Cyborg has been taken down, but still a good thing for this team because they were able to survive. But I think Eklog is a little bit too far. Not quite sure what he's looking for, but I think this is a time to regroup and probably get a better position because right now he is out in the open and he might be gunned down later on the moment that someone spots him.
Let's see if or not he's able to survive at the side of this hill here. I mean, the only ones who have got eyes on him right now are the rest of his team members. And hopefully it stays that way, right? Because the moment that changes, just like you said, I don't think he's going to have a very good day. And of course, Mr. Wrong with the 2 kills in here so far. Axis, the team that has managed to pick up a booyah so far in this competition, but not really be in the top 10. They are, in fact, in the 16th position right now with a total of 21 points. And I believe the 21 points only came from that game that they they managed to get the booyah in.
Yeah, I mean that is where we are looking for consistency for the team. But we're hoping that that game is a great motivator for them to really pull the
Yeah.
team together. Because right now, yeah, despite of what happened earlier, Axis is still in play. They are still a full squad and was able to get those kills earlier in this match. But how it ends is still up to them. But WYS, bad news for them. They went in against Eva Radicals, and I think that's the only member for Trot WYS at that point. And Eva Radicals still staying outside the circle of the safe zone and just waiting for their chance to go in for the kill. And a lot of them is getting the vehicles right now, so hopefully the plan doesn't turn around on them and they'll be able to go for another quick, clean, and quick and clean kill.
Oh, look at him, man. Smart plays coming out from Aguila. Knew his bike was going to explode. Immediately pulls out the time turner. And the new updates on the time turner. Oh, but from the back, Tanamo with a backup. Goes in for the knock. First window on the ground. Trying to fire back is going to be the one and only Hax. Trying to shut down Aguila. Aguila will be backed up. And Hax gets knocked out by the vehicle. Barba for the backup. And G with the one and only Mikey left in here for the mix, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And I don't think he's going to be able to get away. In fact, boy, you better start running, because here comes that nade from Aguila. Does not hit. Smart blue wall pulled out. But the question is, how long will he be able to survive? Locking himself into a corner. He can't shut down Barba. Good nade coming out, but Barba, smart plays, manages to back away from that situation, and now knocking on his glue wall. Come out, little Mikey. We want to play.
And here goes Micah right now, still surviving, but will be gunned down from afar. But there it comes. Who's next going in for the hit? And Aguila will be taken down in there by Tokyo. And good timing, perfect timing for Who's Next right here. Just after the battle, not even given chance for Eva Radicals to recover after this fight. Fury is already on the hunt, but will be taken by Hawkeye Yi. And this is a disadvantage of either Eva Radicals right there. They were too quick to go in for the gun, but really having difficult to go and pull out from this fight. So Who's Next might be seeing another win right here and more kills in this fight. As Nancy going in against Barba, and it's only one member left. It is Tanamo, who is already boxed out, and 4 members will just wait for him to come out from that box and probably hit them down, AJ.
Oh, it's all about the information gameplay, man. Who's next? They go in there, they knock down Aguila, and they manage to get Fura out. They don't immediately rush in, knowing that they already have a 2-man advantage in there. They still didn't go in there for the rush. They had to bring out their drone. They had to play that information gameplay first before taking the rest of the fight, because they knew that the ones that they were taking on were the apex predators of this competition. And I absolutely love the way Who's Next is building this up, man. Remember, once again, Neptune, we asked this question because we said, it could be a Who's Next in terms of a comedy. Who's going to kick us out of this lobby next, right? Or it could also be Who's Next on the plate for us to slice and dice and pick up that booyah back to back. And now they are on a great path in towards that next safe zone. And look at who's sitting down already there comfortably. Axis in the middle of the next zone, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the compliment, and as well as what's happening for Who's Next. Now, Axis, on the other hand, we've seen them pop off for quite a few rounds, but hopefully they find the consistency as well as what's happening with Who's Next. Now VDR on the other hand is really struggling at this point, and right now they're going against Beta Esports, and there you go, Eklog and CEO has been killed at the same time. So VDR Vindicators might not be vindicating that much at this point. It's only a known remaining, but I think he is known, and there you go, the Colby McCrory at it again, AJ.
This guy. Big J Esports, 8 kills in here so far, and they are not slowing down. The next ones on their list perhaps going to be Axis, but they have to be careful because Axis, they have most definitely been hitting those right angles recently, and McRory backing away from them. Smart plays with the glue wall, and Gall gets dropped by Let's Go from afar, the long-range engagement, but it's not going to be giving Big J Esports a lot. But look on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, the mini-map. AKO Ligers on the way into third party the situation as well, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think AKO Ligers will be going in for the rotate for the other side because they have a different situation right now on the rotation. They might have the higher ground, but they need to go and rotate to get a better view of the situation of VD Sports and Axis. Now, Axis, as we mentioned, it at some point being in the middle of the map of the circle of the safe zone earlier into the game might be a good idea, but right now it might not be because everyone's gunning for you and might be surrounding you, as what we're looking at right here. But in this case, VD Esports is being pinched, so they've given the location to Axis already, as well as to AKO Liger. So how well will VD Esports respond and survive this still have yet to be seen, AJ.
Well, the pressure is on AKO Ligers because they are outside of the zone and the safe zone is going to be pressuring them to go in now soon. And if they go and close the distance between themselves as well as Mayday Esports, let us not forget the one and only Kobe is on the way. And McRory, he has got that cooking up already. Konoho coming in here with the pan in his hand, using the tree as a little bit of a backup. A good nade coming through, but the time turner smartly played. But Konoho gets taken down as well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And it looks like Jaboiva has to run away from the situation. He can no longer serve as that backup they need.
Yeah, and Toby's only one remaining right now with only that tree as a cover, and Damon in there for the hit. But it is Nathan who is able to finish this off. So I think it is time for Mayday Esports to go and probably respond to that kill steal right now being done by Axis. But Mousty is being sighted as well. So who's next? A little bit too near in this situation, which might not be a good idea because Let's Go will not be letting go in this engagement, AJ.
I only have one question. Is Let's Go using the Infinix Note 11S? Because how in the world did he spot the arm of that guy sticking out from the tree from afar? Crazy stuff coming in here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's Go, Master Sniper, putting on a lot of pressure from just this corner. And now Mayday Esports, they will see a little bit of a response coming through from Axis. Nathan trying to just hold his position before they get run over. Who's next? Right outside. And they have to take care of them first because they hold on to the safe zone at the moment.
Yeah, I think this is a smart move for Axis right now. They don't want to get engaged and let go of their position right there because Veda Esports now have their attention on who's next. And there goes McRory going against Mavsty. And with Let's Go down, I think the three members are still good to go. But this is yet to be seen because McRory might have a surprise hit behind him. Someone from Equinox is shooting him down from below. And there goes Chow for the kill. And Veda Esports is now pinched against some of the teams right here. Equinox really did a great job in there sneaking in through, but there goes Dane with the only remaining members in here. But Rory is still up. There goes Hawkeye who will be eliminated. And who's next is now out despite of situation or the advantage that they have earlier, AJ.
Hawkeye E very quickly ran out of the safe zone and allowed the safe zone to take him down instead of giving that kill away. Smart plays coming through from the guy, but Axe is still alive and kicking. The ones who are poised to pick up the booyah for themselves. Axis Esports, what a play! What a tremendous performance in here. Nathan, yeah, Mr. Wrong, Laurie, Bad Child always on the substitution bench, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, just waiting for an opportunity to step on in here and get a chance to taste some of these victories as well. Axis once again a team that has not managed to do a lot in the overall standings, but this is the second booyah of the competition that they are picking up. Why do they all have the same wallpaper? Why? Wait. I need answers here. Why? Because sometimes they flex their girlfriends, bro. But I have
Probably,
a lot of questions, my friends.
I don't know, probably an admin or a manager or someone who's cheering them on, a supporter, probably. That's one answer. I don't want to think bad about them. All I want to think about Axis right now.
Nothing bad to think about.
Well, I want to think about Axis right now is how well they're doing. I mean, we mark them. I mean, I mark them as a dark horse who might be going in here and showing us these styles. And right now, I'm so happy to really call them out. And this is what we're expecting to those teams that we're calling out. Really show
Yeah.
us, really pop off from the bottom, from the second, from the middle of the leaderboards. We want everyone to move up and then struggle,
You know
struggle,
who's
and fight,
so,
fight for those
apologies.
spots, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was just about to say, you know who Axis actually reminds me of? The bloody head of all. When they couldn't win much matches. But they always were so impressive whenever they did step up. And bloody head, they were kind of caught in the same situation as well, where they used to take down like really big teams, really big names, but overall on the leaderboard, they were just not doing so well overall, right? And now look at where they sit. They're in the third position so far. And Axis is kind of on that exact same journey, right? They're not really doing well in the competition, not much consistency, but when they hit hard. They just now need to figure out exactly where they are going wrong, right? We talked about
Yeah.
Axis, and we talked about, how are they going to continuously bring in this game of survival. And I think they're doing that amazingly well, not really taking the aggressive approach. Like, if you ask me, it was the side of which was the team earlier on. Was it who's next? This is a
Mhm.
totally different team altogether in terms of aggression, isn't it, Neptune? But
Yeah.
Axis, they're not playing that game. They're playing it so patiently all the way in there to the final circle, and only then are they showing exactly who they truly are. I mean, we understand why, but I absolutely love those plays.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, teams evolving, teams finding out their sweet spot in this game. I would say they really found that because they know how to rotate, how
Oh
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
passive in the start, rotate into that final circle, and then once they get all those information, get everyone fighting amongst themselves, they go and hit hard, third partying, fourth partying at that point, and really clean up on those skills, AJ.
And even Radicals, it was an interesting performance from them this time round. They kind of got snuffed out a little bit too earlier than they expected, but they did manage to sandwich quite a lot of those kill points in before getting taken down. And Vete Esports, on the other hand, what a turnaround onto Bloody Head, man. They brought the pressure first, but it was a tremendous play coming in there from Daemoon as well as Let's Go just to turn the situation around them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was quite surprised how Veda Esports did that against Bloody Heads, because I was looking at the kill feed as well while a different fight is happening, and it is already Veda Esports being knocked down one after another. And then when we switch to the camera, that's when they just turn it around. And Bloody Heads, well, I know they did well. I know they meant well in going in for that push and hit against Veda Esports, but I think that's too much of a bite for them. And well, you really don't know who you're going against until you go and take a hit, or probably take. I mean, be hit or take or make the hit against them.
Yeah, exactly, right? Are you going to be the one punching or getting punched in the face, right? And Veda Esports, they kind of thought they were going to be the ones punching in that final zone, but it was Axis overall. And this time round, the Booyah is so much more convincing. 9 kills on top of the 12 placement points gives them 21 overall. Yes, Vete Esports manages to equalize with the points, but since they do not get the Booyah, they will have to stick with the second spot. Eva Radicals, they managed to sneak into the third position. My goodness me. But the placement points are only 4. Eva Radicals got taken out so early. But the most number of kills, and this is the sandwich method that we're talking about, right? You sandbag yourself as well with some of these kills, so much so that even when you get taken down so early in this lobby, you're still in that third spot. And overall in the competition, you're dominating that number 1 spot.
Definitely. I mean, they're really not disappointing. I mean, they're really not disappointing us on this performance that they have. Eva Radicals, from yesterday's game, Kalahari, they have an average of 10 kills, though not that much on Bermuda. But right now, I think there's a start for another plus 10 kills average for them on Purgatory. So more to come in this games, and this is just match number 3, AJ, and the first match of Group C in this game. So there's one more that they will be playing against Group B, and then more later on against Group A. So more chances for them to be consistent onto the top. But what I like to call out is Axis right there, because we've seen them move up and down, much like was what we've called against Gobilam Wheels earlier on. So hopefully they get their they perfect their tactics right there, maintain the placement points as well as their rotations to get those kills, and this might be their chance to go in and move higher into the leaderboard, AJ.
Yeah, I'm not too fussed about Axis, right? I think they still have quite a long way to go. A lot of these mistakes they haven't figured out yet. And once again, I compare them to Bloody Head because it's just the unfortunate situation that Bloody Head used to be in a long, long time ago as well. They found it so difficult to work their way up the leaderboards, no matter how many booyahs they picked up, no matter how many of those rounds they managed to impress us and steal our attention, and keep us talking about them competition after competition. Axis is doing that, but just no consistency. But I'm very confident they will get there one day. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Neptune and I, we need to take a quick short break. When we come back, the action continues with 3 more of these rounds. We'll be right back.
Hi, survivors. Welcome aboard. Please fasten your seatbelts and get ready to go back in time and see what we have achieved together. Besides global campaigns, let's check out the local content that was inspired and made by you.
Good evening, survivors, and welcome back to the Free Fire Challenger Philippines, where we have seen 3 rounds of battle already, and it is really exciting to see how well it ended up. We are your hosts and casters, and we're here to bring you the highlights and the stories of what's to unfold in this game. I am Neptune, the Gemma Garcia. Together with me is the amazing Mustachio AJ.
It happens, bro. It happens. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the action in here most definitely anticipated, but the way it's breaking down is something that we could have not guessed, right? I mean, who would have guessed that Axis would be able to grab yet another booyah after not even being able to make it into the top 10? But after that performance, have they managed to break that barrier already or not? We are not going to be able to find out that information. We have to wait for one more round in here to conclude so we can give you the updated standings. But of course, who brings you all of this crazy action? Who brings you Free Fire perfection? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Free Fire Challenger Philippines is sponsored none other by Infinix Note 11S, a powerful smartphone with a Helio G96 Ultra gaming processor. You get to fire up your game and you get to get this now for just 9,990 pesos.
OMG. And yeah, as a sponsor of the Free Fire Challenger Philippines, I mean, you can fire up your game with this smartphone. It's the best-selling gaming smartphone. Once again, Infinix Note 11S. And like what you mentioned, AJ, I might be copying right now, but I will be getting one for myself and probably for my family with this one, because it's really affordable with now 9,990 pesos right now. I can give one to everyone in here right here.
120 hertz. It's all. I mean, okay. Let's talk a little bit about the 120 hertz, right? It's all about being able to respond before your opponents respond out there on the battlefield. And the better your refresh rate, the better it is, the better your performance out there on the battlefield. And if you're already gaming, and if you want to turn, just simple game playing into something more serious for yourself, perhaps you want to become a streamer, or perhaps you just want to win more of your matches. You know, it is a no-brainer now, Neptune. Let us jump right back into some of this action, because I feel like some of these players are using the Infinix Note 11S as well with the way they are playing, man. I mean, those pixel peaks that they're getting and those long range shots with those snipes are absolutely amazing to watch, man. But it's also amazing to see how Eva Radicals actually got taken down so early on, so early, and still managing to stay in the top.
Yeah, I mean, they have been consistent with those kills, and that's all I can say. The kills is more of a starter from them, and if they get a good placement, then definitely they'll be able to get the first rank. We've seen that before. They didn't get the booyah, but still they are on number 1. So if they continue this on, we might still be seeing them on the top leaderboards, but hopefully someone will pull them down and perform better in this games apart from them and some of the teams that we've seen so far. But it still have to see, yet to be seen, because Purgatory is one map, so Axis might have a better advantage on them. But going back to the OG map of Bermuda, everything will be even off, because everyone knows this map and everyone might think that they need to be more tactical in this game. So a slow start might be happening because Group C will be on the hunt right here, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you know what? A quick shout out as well, because, I know it's going to happen, so I just want to be the first one to point it out. There's going to be a Who's Next bandwagon very soon, man. Because these guys are actually coming in with the consistency. And I'm just shocked. I'm surprised that Who's Next able to, deliver exactly what we're looking for, right? But oh my goodness, this is something that I did not expect Axis to do, jumping into this lobby with just 3 players, Neptune.
Oh, well, hopefully they'll be able to survive and work it out with their tactics. 3 players indeed might be difficult, because you don't expect that earlier on to the game. When you lose one, you change your tactics. Hopefully they have plan B and plan C all set up and place themselves properly in this map as well, because But as we look at them, they are getting too close to some of the teams and might be pulling back down or back down south on the other side. But going in, starting the game is Bloody Heads going against AKO Likers, and we'll have to find out who will be surviving in this battle.
Yeah, Morgana, Raifu, Toby right in front of them. Let's see if or not they will be able to take them down. This is a 3-on-1 situation, which obviously Bloodyhead has got no information about whatsoever. They are super blind as to the information or as to what's going on in front of them. So they are playing this tactically as well. They want to know exactly how many of the opponents they have in front of them. But Toby's doing the right thing here. He's not engaging and he's not waiting to see exactly what happens. He's just saying, bye-bye, my friends. I'll catch you guys later. And that guy is out of there. And that's exactly the mark of a pro squad.
Yeah, definitely. And knowing when to push and knowing when to back off would be a good tactic indeed. And that's what they're doing. And I think even Radicals, one of them, fewer to be exact, will be in trouble as Equinox is going around them. Time Turner has been pulled and Shao right now going in for the hit. But it's Diffusal who will be hit. The one's from the far side. But the respawn of Shao in there, taking down Fear earlier on, not looking good for the team of Ever Radicals right now because Diffusal will be back up and Equinox will have 1 point on them.
AKO traveling pretty fast, should have a vehicle on them, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So what is going on here? Or are we just going to see them brush across each other? Toby right above. The guy is all alone. Xenox in front of him as well. Pulls out the glue wall. We don't have eyes on them. Sorry. Knocks down Toby and he gets deleted as well. My. These big teams really don't want the booyah now, do they?
Yeah, I mean, well, thing is, I think Equinox is in a good start right now. Going in for the kill, who would think that you will see one member of each team at the same place and getting 2 kills already? So this is a good start for them, and then they might push it on a placement points. Placement tactics, and then probably just try and choose their fight as they go along. But I think one has been cited as well from the other side that might be a too small and no IGNs showing. But I'm pretty sure with what you mentioned earlier, they've seen that member and might be going in for a chase. But no chasing will be happening in this area because 3 teams are already in play. It's VDR, Trot WYS, and as well as a Rev will be, or as Who's Next will be in here as well from the other side. So how this unfold, we'll have to find out. But Ploki has a good advantage or height advantage against them.
Yeah, let's see if or not. And Ploki, I think Ploki is just an amazing player with those CQCs. Long range, we haven't seen him perform so far. But Diffusal managing to knock down a player from Black Angel. And Black Angel is a team that we haven't really seen, on the map so much, man. And it's going to be Arfarv almost taken down and knocked down by Diffusal as well. This is the second one for the guy. He's just going on a clean-out mission, Neptune.
Definitely, I mean, I'm not saying this is luck anymore. Equinox is really on it. I mean, yeah, it's lucky that they get a few members in there being taken down, but going against Black Angel right here, taking 2 down, that's 4 already total for Equinox. They are on a roll, and hopefully they keep it up until the final circle. Now, moving back to a battle that might happen right here. Ploki already, I think he has been spotted already. That's one reason why he went down from that roof. But is it VDR who might be going against them, or will Who's Next really asking Who's Next on their hit list?
Yeah, let's see if or not they are able. Oh, because this is going to be a 3-way that might not turn out for them really well. VDR is a really good team with these close-range combats. Barba from afar will be able to take down a player from the side of Black Angel. Tokyo knocks down Eklog. Eklog still will be able to survive in here as he gets picked up by Zeo, but Unknown will be able to find Mavsy, and Monkey now just going in there for those chipping in shots, but he should have just had that trigger discipline and stolen kills instead. Just play this a little bit more patiently, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, too patiently, and he just missed that opportunity. But they still have a chance. They have a chance to go in for the rush because they still are a full squad. And Who's Next will be backing off a little bit. They don't want to go into a 3-way engagement because they want to know who they're shooting at. They will keep their distance and get their kills from them. But VDR right now, not quite sure what the plan is. 2 compounds and 2 of them, or 2 of each members are on them. So going for that split up might be smart unless one of these teams go in for the rush. But going in on the other side, I think this is one reason why Who's Next backed off, because Bloody Heads is on top of them.
Well, let's see if or not Bloodyhead will be able to punish Who's Next, or Who's Next will be able to confidently say, hey, my friend, Who's Next up here? Even if you're a Bloodyhead, we will be able to crack it open. VDR as well as Bloodyhead now sandwiching the blaze of Who's Next. So this is a situation where one wrong move from Who's Next and that's it, game over. But their decision is to back away from this compound. I think Who's Next is definitely the team for you guys to keep your eyes on next.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing it smart, waiting for what's going to happen here. They have an idea. The two teams are already in there, VDR as well as Rev. So seeing Bloody Heads right there as well. So they might be picking up for scraps later on. That have happened before, and that is what they can take advantage of. Just waiting for the safe zone to move in and push everyone out. And I think that a good idea for Who's Next to move far away, because that's where everyone's going. But here we go. We have the push by Unknown going in against WYS, and there goes Navi for the hit. I can see you. And here comes Unknown for the backstab, and the Trot WYS will be taken down. But on the other side, Mark will be going in for the hit as well and picking off for the scraps in this game. Cyborg, Unknown, and Eklog will be alive, but one will be picked up as well. Bloody Heads, two will be staying inside the safe zone, but the rest will be going in for the push. Now, will this be a smart decision, AJ? Because I think BDR already learned their lesson earlier. They don't want to go in too quickly, and they need a good tactic to be able to pull off a clean sweep against Bloody Heads. And this is what Cyborg is doing, just pulling away from this fight, and Baby going against them later on.
They lost Zio. Zio down on the ground now. And this is just a GG, because VDR will not be able to come back for him. And Bloody Head, what a victory for them in terms of their page. Now, let's see if or not we will be able to see Bloody Heads get out of this situation, because one more player from VDR, Eklog, on the ground, knocked down, and they should be able to go in here for the delete as well. Bloody Heads overall the biggest winner of this matchup, and VDR, that was a situation which they had to get away from, and they just took their chances, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, it's they tried to take their chance, but it's a really difficult move, a real difficult decision for them, because they're out in the open already, going in for that zip line, and Bloodheads already have their sights on them. So it might have been delayed too much for the side of BDR, and they have to restructure their tactics next time. But going in Axis with a three-man squad, going against BDR, who are in there, who just escaped death for all of their teammates. Cyborg and Unknown is already on top, and Mr. Ong is just healing up and waiting for another fight. The Cyborg right now will be hit in there by Gal from the far side, and the split up is working for them. It's only Unknown remaining in this battle, and BDR not looking so good for them as Gal finish off one of the member. Unknown, no choice, will be moving away from this battle, but will be chased by Lori, and Unknown right now, I think he is unknown for him that Lori is just right behind him, going in for the heal and probably going for the push, and out in the open, the hit by Unknown with a shotgun, giving him a chance to survive and pulling away, AJ.
Oh, and Laurie gets shut down by Unknown as well. He goes in for the shutdown, and now Time Turner pulled out, but Mr. Ong finishes him off with the double vectors. And Axis, unfortunately, I mean, that was the greatest blessing that the gods of RNG could have given Axis, right? They drop in here with a trio going up against squads, but just so, fate just had it that VDR, a two-man team now, because of what just happened on the screen moments ago, ended up in front of them, but Axis still managed to lose one guy with that shotgun. But it's all right, because they still have the ability to get into that final zone and play their placements, because if they can't, I'm afraid that might just knock down their confidence a little bit here, nephew.
Yeah, speaking of confidence, I think Equinox is getting their confidence because they have been getting some kills right now and a chance to go in against another team. AKO is already beneath them as they go in this factory. Now Jiboywa is already down in Kanoho on the other side, just waiting as well as Churs out. The three members of AKO Lighters right now might not be in a best position. Jiboywa has already been eliminated from this game, and two members of AKO Ligers will be backing off and moving away, AJ.
AKO Ligers, smart plays, but Equinox just bigger winners overall. And it's not a team that you see popping off all the time. In the 9th position earlier on when we checked in with them. Oh, a good nade coming through from Diffusal. Does not connect, but they will be able... There was a smoke that just manages to allow them that wrap around. What a takedown. Pulls out the camouflage as well, but a good time turn and just to stop all of that bleeding. And now Diffusal just wrapping around. But look at those glue walls popped up as well. Auto knockout holding on. Kanoho can no longer hold on, and he jumps out, pulls out another glue wall, but the hunt is on as they all go in for those final shots, knocking out AKO Ligers from the lobby.
Equinox are on fire right now, AJ. I really couldn't say what got into them, but they are really on fire. They might have started it with luck earlier, getting those single kills from different teams, but right now going in for the push against AKO Ligers and then surviving. All of the members surviving against them, despite of the numbers of that they have, 4 against 3. It's still a good play for them. Now, speaking of surviving, will Beta Esports survive against Bloody Heads once again? This is a rematch that we are seeing right now, AJ.
Okay, now Forbid's opportunity to get away from this situation. Morgana will be able to put on a lot of pressure, but Let's Go jumps into the vehicle. Forbid is stuck in the corner. Are they going to be able to turn things around? Eva is just across the horizon. Radicals. Morty gets knocked down onto the ground. Cryfu will be able to respond. Forbid's taken out of the equation. Daymoon as well as Let's Go. They pull away from this fight. And Bloody Head, they will be able to pick up the one and only Morty and continue this hunt, because Daymoon as well as his friend Let's Go, they're not too far away, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, good response with Bloody Head for what happened earlier, but on the other side, I think it's Big Equinox still on the rush against AB this time. And there you go, we have a Papa Zeus right now trying to go in for those spam shots, but we'll have to back on a little bit. Oh, there goes Papa Zeus for that hit, but Meow will be taken out as well. So Papa Zeus will be backing off and probably get back to Mimak at this point, or probably pick up Meow if there is still time, AJ.
Let's see if or not Meow can get back onto his feet. Equinox just putting on so much of damage onto all of these teams, and now the smoke is just going to be keeping Sorry a little hidden away. Meow back on his feet, and now there's a good play coming in here from Papa Zeus. They need to back away from the situation. They do exactly that, but Mima is all alone in front of Equinox. He is not able to get away from this fix, and I believe this duo just needs to stick together. Equinox, on the other hand, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it looks like they have abandoned Mima. Mima gets into that vehicle, catches up together with Papa Zeus as well as Meow. This was a good getaway, and it looks like AV Crusaders will be able to just cruise in to the next safe zone, except for Meow. He has to run.
Well, that's a smart move, and I thought that was just a hint from Mimak in there to... I'm imagining what the communication is. Go ahead, leave me be. Let me die with honor in this fight. But he had to pull out. He has the advantage of the vehicle right there. Lucky for him. But right now, hopefully, Eva will be lucky as well, because Tanamo and Barber are the only two remainings, and they are going against Equinox. And Zoro right now being hit and might be taken down and will be dying out the safe zone. And I think Equinox luck has run out already. It's already one member remaining in this fight, and there you go. The elimination of Zhao taking down this great team that we might have seen earlier further on, but going against Eva Radicals, not really lucky at that point.
a little too aggressive, but it's good to make these aggressive mistakes early on in the competition, especially for a team that like Equinox, who has just been focusing so much. They've been hyper focused on the placement points, and this, I believe, is the first round that they are switching up their gears to look for their kills, right? So they weren't really looking for that final zone, and I feel like this round went perfectly in the way of Equinox. They wanted to test their firepower, they wanted to test their gun skills. They've gotten those answers. I wish them the best for the next round. But Eva, Dynamo will be able to knock down Yado from Who's Next. And Who's Next, the team that's looking for that final zone, will be able to lose Mapsty as well as he gets knocked down onto the ground. And Who's Next, they will struggle. Hawkeye as well as Tokyo, very close to the players of Eva Radicals. This is a 2 versus 2, duo versus duo, but right in front of them, Bloody Head to gatekeep.
Ooh. Dynamo in there, still on fire and still going for the hit. There's only Hawkeye right now remaining, and there goes the hit from behind. The sniper kill. Dynamo is not only proficient with the grenades, but also with a sniper and with a duo. And this is what we keep talking about. The duo of Barba and Dynamo. Even if there's only 2 of them, they can still do a lot of damage. Mark right now, on the other hand, also doing damage. Axis will be eliminated right there when we have so much hope for this team. Now, New Gen is
my
in
lord!
there. Axe will be taken down, and Bloody Heads is in a rush against them. Mikey's the only one remaining, and Bloody Heads is up close, AJ.
Yeah, but Eva Radicals, they're still getting knocks, they're still getting kills. Barba, Dynamo, what a play, what a duo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And now the grenade by Morgana kicks Mikey out of the equation. And New Gen, they don't have much on them already. Payday Esports still alive and kicking, sneaking into the edge of the next zone. Eva Radicals in here as well. AB Crusaders unfortunately stuck between 2 titan of teams. And Bloody Head just sitting down across all of the others, just waiting to see exactly who will step in front of them first. I believe there is a grenade launcher in the mix of this final zone as well. And I like what Dynamo as well as Barba are doing. Getting that lift over each other. Dynamo should be able to take one more shot. Meow says bye-bye. Oh, he gets knocked down by the zone instead. And Papa Zeus won't be able to do much. He has to abandon his team member. Gets himself taken out by the safe zone as well. 1 down. 3 more teams left in here. The nade being cooked up by Morgana in front. And this is a fight between Bloody Head and the duo of Eva Radicals. And whilst Payday Esports sits down and awaits the final fight.
We're gonna end it with grenade needs to be stopped, but Baby Esports right now also a team proficient with a grenade. Hopefully they will not eat those nades right there because it's a Bloody Head with a 4-man squad against 2 and Baby Esports in a disadvantage. Now the revenge that that Bloody Head is looking for right now against Baby Esports that happened earlier. Daymoon might be in trouble and this might be a win for Bloody Heads because the 1v2 is or the 1v2 for each member of Beta Esports might be unfolding right now, and Daymoon will feel that from afar. Mark will be going for the hit, and another kill from Morgana. Bloody Heads really showing us that they are on fire and they have a chance to take that top spot, AJ.
And of course, who else than Morgana, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your MVP. And Bloody Head once again proving themselves and picking up the second booyah of the day. Earlier.
Mustachio, that's you.
This time it's the Mustachio on screen. I love you too, boys. Bloody Head's the one team that we've believed in for so long because of this, right? Those micro adjustments, those improvements, little by little, Neptune. And this is exactly where they are right now, right? Close to the top already. Earlier on, when we picked up the leaderboards, they were sitting down in the 3rd spot. I cannot wait to see what they've managed to get done for themselves. They started the day off with a booyah, and they end the run of their 4 rounds in here with a booyah as well. I think they've done amazing for themselves today, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to these teams. And Bloody Heads, I mean, we just want to see the story unfold for them. And it is really unfolding wide, really, showing us the whole picture of what Bloody Heads might, what is the ending for Bloody Heads, because they're just moving up and up and up and up. So I'm really excited to see what more they can offer on this league stages, and I'm pretty sure they'll be stepping on the grand finals, AJ.
There's no doubt at all. I mean, at one point it was, will they make it? At this point is, can they maintain their consistency? Because it's not that they are doing a bad job or whatsoever. It's because, I mean, the pressure that's coming in from teams like Eva Radicals, Go Willem Views, PPH Velocity. I mean, these teams are still putting on the pressure onto them, right? And constantly, it's the rules of the battle royale. Gods of RNG are constantly trying to pin you down. Look at what happened to VDR earlier on. They Axis, my apologies, they were blessed with an opportunity, but even they couldn't get the best out of it, right? But so far, Bloodyhead, with whatever cards they've been dealt with, they've managed to deal with those situations very, very well. And now my biggest question is whether or not they've managed to pick up more than 25 points, break their own record that they've started off the day with, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance for them to go in and break records as well. I mean, we've seen that a lot from other teams, but I'm really happy to see how these teams are growing. Bloody Heads, other teams as well. Equinox, like we've seen earlier, how well they performed from the start of that game. It's just unfortunate that they had to go against the duo of Eva Radicals, right? We've seen even after that battle, AJ, they are doing damage all throughout the time that they are surviving.
Yeah, and it's just the deadly duo, right? And, you know, there's nothing more that we can ask from them. And Fuhrer just lost his life a little bit too early, if you ask me, which I'm not so sure why, because the position that he was holding on to in comparison to the rest of the Eva Radical players was just so weird. And Barba, unfortunately, got taken down as he tried to rush in towards that tower. And, you know, things just broke down for them in a way Eva Radicals were not very happy with. But Tanamo as well as Barba, man, these guys, they just held it on for the team all the way through. Axis, on the other hand, picking up the Booyah earlier on, couldn't do much with the trio now, could they?
Yeah, I mean, well, they can work whatever they can because the duo works. It's more of the experience on working with less members. Like if one member has been taken out, how well will you put up the plan to work with 3, 2, or even solo? We've seen that solo gameplay taking the second spot. So it's more of the plans that you have in play on your rule book or on your playbook. So if they have that playbook set up properly, they will know what actions they can do despite of how many members they have in the team, AJ.
Oh, just 1 point shy. But hey, kudos, man. Kudos to Bloody Head. 24 points this time around. A total of 49 points overall. Just 1 point shy of 50. They've managed to pick up just from 2 rounds, not including the 7 points that they picked up in that second matchup and that one that they picked up in that third round, right? Bloody Head, they've managed to done quite a lot for themselves in here for this fourth matchup. Eva Radicals, once again, super impressive with the consistency of being able to slay out there on the battlefield, and Equinox just surprising us all with their tenacity this time around. Vete Esports managing to squeeze themselves into the 4th position this time around, but surprisingly, 0 kills.
Yeah, I mean, they aim for the placement point. I think it's as well as the tactics that they have losing some of their members. So they couldn't make it up for the kills earlier on because they lost 2 members already. So they play for the placement points. Well, compared to Eva Radicals, they are not that aggressive enough to go in for single kills afterwards. They don't want their positions to be shown earlier on. So probably that's one thing that Vede Esports need to put in on their play as well. Because despite of the numbers that you have, we know they have the proficiency to get those kill steals or probably single kills looking for the enemies from afar. But it's more of how well or if they're willing to put that into play.
Yeah, and you know, let's talk a little bit about the silent killers of this particular competition, right? The one and only Vindicators. They are consistently the outlier. They just sit down in that mid section of that map. They are barely on the screen. You barely see them getting into a lot of fights, but they are managing to sit down in that 7th placing consistently, you know, through all of these matches, and they're slowly climbing up the board. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in terms of the map recap, you had Bloody Head picking up the first Booyah of the day with a 25-point overall. Who's next for the second map in Bermuda as they hit the 26-point mark? Axis picking up the Booyah in the third round. And like you just witnessed, the double for Bloody Head, they managed to get a amazing fourth round here for themselves. Purgatory as well as Bermuda. Bloody Head are maintaining consistency, showing us that they are good at a variety of maps. And now from the third spot into the second place, 94 points, catching up with Eva Radicals on that 113. But Bloody Head, they will no longer be competing in this particular day, ladies, German boys and girls. They will be resting. Team C, Group C, they will be staying on and welcoming back Group A moving forward here. BJ Esports in the third position. Good on them. They have made it from the 8th position all the way up to the third spot in here, and they still have 2 matches to go, so they most probably will be overtaking Bloody Heads in terms of the standing. Go Willem Views, they are now back in here in the 4th position at the moment, but don't forget, they haven't played the past 2 rounds. They will get 2 rounds in here to kick Bloody Head down a little bit more, and I feel like that's the perfect motivation for Bloody Head to set up day number 3 of the Free Fire Challenges Philippines, to make sure they train really hard now, because day 3 next week is gonna most definitely be a testing one for them, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if their tactics is working right now, all they have to do is make those adjustments and apply it for the upcoming weeks. Now, Bloody Heads will be resting, as what you mentioned. There's still a chance that they will be pulled down from this second place that they're in. But if we'll look at the first half of this list, from 4th, I would say from 3rd down to the 9th, it's I would say it's close, because a Booyah will definitely push up those on the bottom of the first half. So that's what we're looking for, the rotations of this team on the leaderboard, and probably get that gap smaller against Eva Radicals, because so far we've seen how well they've been consistent despite of the numbers of players that they have. So they need to be shut down earlier on. Nothing against Eva Radicals, but we just want to see other teams to take that first spot in there and cheer them on later on. Probably great motivation for them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you know, I'm looking for Axis picking up the 7th or 8th position in here before we close the day off. But Eva Radicals, ladies, German boys and girls, they managed to steal the spotlight this time around with the 10 kills. Still, nobody's breaking the kill target here just yet, all right? The record is set at 10, and you know, we've seen 3 players now manage to hit this, but nobody's getting to that 11 point just yet within 2 rounds. Eva Radicals, Dynamo this time around with the 2 assists, 10 kills, 4,813 damage, hit rate of 54.8. Not too shabby at all, as impressive as ever. And the thing that's even more impressive than Dynamo is the fact that Eva Radicals is just one beast of a squad.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking for the MVP, we're looking for a record to be beat right now, is the record of numbers of MVPs from a team. Because like Eva Radicals had 3 members of their teams already on the MVP slot. So if they have one more in there, probably okay, this is your time to take the spotlight. So we'll give all the kills to you. So all of the members of Eva Radicals will be in there and have their MVP spots. But still, that is a challenge for every players of every team. If Eva Radicals can manage to do it, then I'm pretty sure they can do it as well. It's more of how well you make those tactics, and Eva Radicals is just unexpected with their tactics. So one thing that you need to break is how to get, or how to put them in an expected position and then take them out. Otherwise, they will still be moving up on the first place.
Absolutely. And, you know, a lot of these teams, they're not going to be, moving around on that leaderboard, mainly from Team B, Group B, because they're not going to be playing anymore already. We've got 2 more rounds in here. And what you're going to be witnessing shortly, ladies, German boys and girls, will be the first matchup between Group A as well as Group C for the day. And of course, as usual, we'll hit that reset on the maps. We'll drop right back into Purgatory. Now, we've seen both of these teams perform in here twice already. Do you have one specific team that you think, okay, they're most definitely going to be picking up the Booyah in this next round, Neptune?
Well, I would say Eva Radicals is getting there. They will be getting there because it's a switch
Yeah.
up of
Yeah.
teammates. They might have bad luck on taking against Group B. So
Yep.
taking on Group A team that probably they might get more luck or might make more mistakes compared to the
Mhm.
other teams will push them up on the booyah spot.
I have to say, I absolutely agree with you. Eva Radicals just seem so deadly in all of these rounds. And going up against Group A, they can find a little bit more of bite into some of these teams, right? I mean, they're going up against teams like Monkey Tribe, Rev Aeolus, No Fear. Now, no offense, guys, but the positioning, the places, they really need to be buffed up a little bit more in here. Now, No Fear overall, they haven't done great, but at the same time, they're not doing extremely badly. At least not as badly as the Monkey Tribe. Now, the Monkey Tribe just needs to focus in staying on alive a little bit longer, especially at those early stages of the game, Neptune. And it's not something that they cannot try, but they are going for a certain setup. There's a strategy that they're trying out here. I just don't see it yet. And I don't think it's working out for them. The results at the end of the day is showing that it's clearly not working in here for them. They need to find a way to stay alive a little bit longer on the battlefield and try to sneak in some of these kills, right? I think overall, what we saw them at about 10, 12 kills, they don't really have a lot in the competition so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that Monkey Tribe can do is review all the drop zones and avoid any early engagement because that's where
Mm.
they are being taken out early and like
Yeah.
losing the opportunity to get the kills as
Yep.
well as the placement points. So review all the drop points depending on which group they are going against, and then find a spot wherein they can be safe. They can get all the loots, prepare for battle, and then rotate to a spot wherein they're comfortable in getting those kills. Long
Yeah.
distance would be
Agreed.
what I would suggest for Monkey Tribe because the close battle engagement is really not working for them.
I 100% agree with you, my friend. I mean, pick up those snipers. If you don't have those players who have got 100% mastery of the sniper just yet, it's okay. I'd rather they bet on that rather than, just continuously taking this close range combat, because I agree with you. It's not working out for the Monkey Tribe at all. It's not once, it's not twice. It's so many a times we have seen the same performance from them. And I feel like they most definitely can start to step it up in this competition. And they can start now, right? They sit in the 13th
Yeah.
position. And I just got a refresh of the score on my end. So far, they've only managed to get 8 kills overall in the competition. And that's a little unacceptable, right? 20 points from the placement, it's okay, but 8 points overall is going to most definitely be hurting them. And against some of these other teams who are so confident with the way they're taking their points, you don't want to end up being the team that's just hovering in that 13th and the 12th spot. Am I going to make it to the finals? Am I not going to make it to the finals? Because it just turns out to be a very heartbreaking moment when you really try hard at the end of the competition and just don't make it because you could have bucked up a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they can make those adjustments and make those tiny detail adjustments. Find out just what's not working. That's
Yeah.
the best tactic, and it has been seen.
Don't
so
split
far
up at
from
when you
plenty-
go in for the drop.
It has been seen, AJ, Bloodheads, who's next? We've seen them from not so good to very, very good. So
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
they can do it, all the teams right here can do it as well. They just need to put
Yeah.
a little bit more effort, not just in the game, but off game as well. Studying the tactics, their own as well as the enemy,
Yeah.
the rotations, what plan do they have. If they lose one member, they need to pull out because that's
Yes.
where they are being taken out because they try to contest and they lose a lot of battle, AJ.
Yeah, and that's something that's just a little unacceptable, right? They need to find a little bit more within their strategies itself to play that game of survival and get into those engagements in that final zone. Strictly in that final zone, just focus purely on all of those placement points. As long as you are guaranteed the top 3, and then you start firing off. Try to play a little bit more aggressively from that stage on. It's going to be a better place to be in comparison to finding all of those early kills, right? Who's next, on the other hand? I don't even know what team is that anymore because they started off very, very slow. They started off without much of a shine, and now they seem to be hitting and hitting hard. But unfortunately for who's next, they are in Group B and they won't really be able to see us through to the end of the day. And they are sitting in the 5th position so far with 73 points. But like Neptune has pointed out, all of those other teams are so close to them when we look at the 4th all the way down to that 9th position, right, Neptune? But of course, let's see exactly how things break down here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as for the first matchup between Group A as well as C kicks off in Purgatory.
Yeah, hopefully those teams that we've called out so far, especially for those on, from those coming from Group B, wherein we'll be resting right now. They have a chance to review everything that's happening as well as what's going to happen in this first match of Group A and C. So doing that, a little bit more of effort, a little bit of study and homework from their team, apply what they learn quickly. That's what we ask, because they might apply it later on, and when it's too late, it will be difficult to get back. Now, looking at the map right now, it is Eva Radicals surprisingly going in south, a little bit too far from the rest of the teams, and Monkey Tribe right now still contesting the middle of the map, and this time they might be going against VPH Velocity, and later on, once Eva Radicals moves up into this map, going against them, pinching them as well. So those drops probably needs to be studied by this team. But another team who might be going against each other is Axis and Black Angels, a little bit too close onto the moat, just onto north of Fields, close as well to Veda Esports, AJ.
Yeah, and here's where we can see if or not Monkey Tribe's listening. Here's where if or not Monkey Tribe's actually adapting to some of these matchups. Because if they get into a gunfight and they continue, I don't think they're going to be making it very far. Axis with a great knockdown, a second kill coming through. First blood goes to them, and the second kill in the bag for them as well. Nathan will be happy with the support that he has got for the rest of his team members. Black Angel, they most definitely are the fallen angels in here. They're just being the feed that feeds all of these hungry killing souls out there on the battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen much of the tactics of Black Angel, so thus we cannot tell what they're what's working and what's not working for them. But all they need to do right now, I would say, is just find a proper location to go in, and then a proper exit strategy. Like what we're seeing right now, Nathan is going in for that hit, and the knockout is there as well. So ugh, will really say ugh at this point, AJ.
Indeed he will. Indeed he will. You know, I was thinking Axis should be finishing this particular day off somewhere around the 7th or 8th position, and I feel like they will be able to do it with the way they're slowly climbing up the leaderboards. And, right behind there, we'll be able to see Nathan. Nathan says, bye-bye, my friend. Didn't really have to pull out the sniper for such a close-range combat, but, let the guy do whatever he wants. Axis with the 3rd kill so far in the game. They are on a fiery start. And quite frankly, in here today, they are most definitely on fire.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some of the teams, I'm really happy how these teams are showing up right now. We've challenged them from a first day, and right now they're responding to the challenge. Now, another team that we want to challenge is Monkey Tribe. Now, look at the split that we're seeing from them. This is questionable, I would say. So hopefully Rev will miss this opportunity to take them out and probably give a chance to Monkey Tribe to regroup and then get back later on, get a better placement for them. And not really try out, but go back to the basics of surviving and getting the long road into that final circle, because they might be able to study how or what will be going well. And there you go, Monkey! Oh, in there it is. Gobilam wheels right now for the aggressive approach against Trot WYS. Shanks being shot down, and Floki will just run away, AJ.
Run, Blocky, run! That's all he can do, right? There's nothing much he can do. But Pan with a good nade from the back, and Monkey Tribe finally trying to step it up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And this is where we want to see if or not Monkey Tribe has learned from some of their past mistakes. Blocky, on the other hand, will be tasked to find the final zone and make sure he does not give up his life. He will find a zip line first, and he can use that to get out of the situation. Rev Aeolus right in front of the one and only Monkey Tribe. And although they did manage to go in there for a knock, they didn't manage to finish that off.
Yeah, it's more of how they close. Monkey try. How will they close the engagement that's happening? Yeah, it is a smart move, not really to rush in, but probably get a long distance hit against this team. Because if those glue walls has been taken out earlier on, while they're going for the pickup as well as healing up, they might get the points for themselves. Oh, Monkey Tribe, if you're listening right now, a few things that you might consider as we move forward into these games. But as we go into ego is more of on the passive side. They don't want to go in for the early engagement. They go for the long route, and this is what we're talking about. They're going and finding out which is the sweet spot for them to take that win and get those placement as well as the kills. So a little bit of passiveness really doesn't hurt as long as you connect the moment that you go in for those fights.
Let's see if or not they will be able to connect with those nades. Wyatt, good nade coming through. Does not meet anyone. Might have gotten a hit mark there. No, Seika managed to get out of there safe and sound. Monkey Tribe knows that it is Rev Aeolus right in front of them. Therefore, they know that the team that they're taking this fight up against is not really in a great place in this competition. And I really like the fact that they're not rushing in for them, right? They are not really going in there confident, although it's Rev Aeolus. Okay, we're going to be able to get these easy kills. They're playing it safe. They're finding a compound. They want to make sure they set up the defenses first before they start looking for these kills. And that's exactly what we wanted to see out of the Monkey Tribe. And they're slowly making those adjustments, Neptune. Let's see how they continue to take this fight, because this is a good early setup from them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's looking good for them. They know how to pull away, especially if they're not confident with the engagement. A 4v4, they might be going in case if Rev splits up, they can go in for the single kill, single hit. But speaking of single hit, we have a McCrory right now on the sides. Is Axis will be in here from the moat house. So I'm quite surprised Axis is already outside of the moat house area, and then they move back up, put themselves in a very difficult position with this island, with waters, wherein they have to go and push into. And Veda Esports will just be waiting for them to go in. And one thing that Axis needs to do is just rotate far away from Veda Esports.
It is Veda Esports now holding on the outside region, just forcing access into a tiny island, which they most definitely will be able to back away into and then survive for a little bit. Veda Esports, on the other hand, not going to get over aggressive as they move on. They want to make sure they find that number one spot, right? Because slowly they've been climbing up the leaderboard as well. Once again, they kind of started off in that 8th position, and the last time we took a look at them, they sneaked up into the 3rd spot, and now they have got their eyes set on that number one spot for sure. They have got 2 rounds in here. They need to secure 1 booyah and do well at least for one of those other rounds. Make sure Eva Radicals is not one of those teams out there in that final zone, and they should be good to go to pick up the number one spot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they gather up all the kills that they have, especially from some of the teams who are not performing that well, they will be able to feed off some of those points. And then just in case they go against Eva Radicals, they just need to be more aggressive compared to being
Yeah,
tactical. That
correct.
we've seen so far, because they are tactical. I would say they get the
Mm,
distance, start of the game. They they get good rotations, but the moment
yeah.
that they go in against an aggressive team like Eva Radicals, they are still being tactical, spreading away, having let's go or forbids on a sniper, and then the rest of the teams are rushing in. We haven't seen them go in for the grenade launcher as well as the grenade gameplay on these matches. Probably they didn't have any chance for that, but we'd like to see those tactics because that works on a close battle engagement.
Let's see if or not they will be able to find someone from afar. Because I do agree with you, right? Veda Esports, with the way they're taking, some of these fights. Tactical, yes, but what puts Eva Radicals ahead is a difference of, I believe, 34 kills. In terms of the placement points, Veda Esports has got 1 point more than Eva Radicals. And that speaks a lot, right? in terms of the distance that Eva Radicals is compared to Vete Esports in that number 1 spot. So, I mean, Vete Esports just needs to find about 30 kills to catch up, because in terms of placements, they're doing quite well to keep up with Eva Radicals.
Definitely. I mean, it's more of the kills really that's pushing up Eva Radicals in this game. And lucky enough for the teams on the north, they are within the next safe zone. But unlucky for some of the teams, Wheels has pushed in against Axis. So this is more of how well Axis will be able to go against Wheels. One is already down. Mr. Ong is already out of this game. And Wheels right now with those vehicles showing themselves or giving off the information. So Axis Lori, as what we've seen, saying very, very quiet and very, very still, will be surviving this game and probably move in a little bit later, but still has a chance to go in inside the midfield.
Used 3 kills in here so far. Might be able to find a couple of more from the AV Crusaders right below them. But you know the vertical disadvantage that, you know, a team will have if they are on top. It's so much more easier to hit those headshots. And Papa Zeus pulling out a time turner prematurely. Wiz right in front. Oh my lord, Wiz just jumping out a little bit too early. AV Morris will be on the hold right behind them. Meow as well, just trying to give that backup from afar. But if you ask me, Wiz got a little bit too aggressive with that fight. Ember Lore cooking up that nade as well, will be able to pressure them inside of that tower, and I feel like this is going to be all over for the players of AV Crusaders, you know, in a couple of moments. Wiz though, I mean, she's taking so much of risk here. I'm getting a heart attack, Neptune.
I mean, Wiz right now is, I think, putting in the pressure, giving time for the rest of the teams of Wills to go in and put those grenades or probably get the location of the rest of the teams, because Wiz right now is trying to hold up 2 members of AV Crusaders. So 2 against 1, and the rest of the teams goes in for the rest. This is a smart move, I would say, but a risky move indeed for Wiz. But Sneaks will be taken down in there, and I think the risk is turning the tides on this game. Hopefully, Sneaks will be pulled up, and Santino for the rush, and Balor for the hit against Meow, and the duo right now going in for this hit, taking down 2 members of Wales, and Balor and Sneaks needs to survive, but there's only one who gets up.
Well, Embalore now going in for his own Kobe's, trying to set it up first, but the glue wall will not be able to give him that angle, and therefore he repositions himself, just using the tree trunk as a little bit of backup. Embalore just waiting for a little bit of assistance from Santino as well as Sneaks. He will be able to spot Papa Zeus's feet first, taking those sniping shots, will not be able to hit. Finally does manage to get one in there, but it will just be a preemptive shot that scares him back. They need to cook those grenades up. They need to go in there for the toss, but I believe Embalore is not looking to waste that one and only grenade he has left inside of his pocket, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, they're all covered up in there, and I think it's just as a safe zone that will be the advantage of Wales right now, because they have the higher ground, but you did mention how disadvantaged that is if they will be hit, because the headshot is more possible.
Oy.
But there it goes, speaking of headshot, there goes VMAC down from Embalor. The pickup is being done by Papa Zeus, but Papa Zeus is also being eaten by the safe zone, and the rest of the teams are also putting a little bit of pressure. So Papa Zeus is down and will not be able to go in for the pickup against BMAC, and the grenade is being thrown right now, and this is the pressure. This is what they're waiting for, and there goes the grenade. It might explode against Papa Zeus, but no, Papa Zeus survives, and Balor goes in a little bit too near, and there goes the finishing touch. AV Crusaders eliminated, and Wills right now in there surviving this fight despite of losing Wiz in there. Still a great game.
Amazing anticipation and snipe coming in here from Embalore, just going in there and picking him up, and a quick healing shot coming through for them as well. Vehicle right in front, and you know for a fact that Govilum Views will be going in for that next safe zone setup very shortly. Vete Esports, on the other hand, still with their passive plays. They've got one vehicle with them. No kills in here so far. just looking for that final zone. And I love the fact that they are playing these passive games and going in there. But, like we discussed earlier on, Eva Radicals have got a 34 kill point advantage against Beta Esports. If they want that number one spot, if they want to get the brand as the apex predators of this competition, they need to start picking up a few more. And McRory does exactly that against Pan Pan.
Yeah, Monkey Tribe right now is in a very difficult position. They went in against Veta Esports. They went far actually from the rotations, but Veta Esports is taking those sidelines as well. Now going in for the battle, who's not taking the sidelines? We have Eva Radicals right now going in onto the ring, going against two teams actually. BPH getting too near and Barba healing up, so they are playing outside, a little bit risky, but Waze or WYS will be taken down and Twinkle will be eliminated in that fight, so Ego will lose one member as well, and Eva Radical surviving with 4 members. Still a great fight for them. 4 kills already in this game, but they need to make it more. On the other side, Rev surviving with 4-man going against Veta Esports, AJ, but one grenade takes down 1-2, AJ.
And now they need to respond. 1-2 needs to get picked up as well. Blake will be there for the backup. Blue wall pulled out right in front of him. But Thanamo from the back. Eva Radicals are coming in here for the push as well. VJ Esports will be keeping Rev here a little bit busy. And Eva Radicals will be able to take advantage from the back. And just look at this. VPH velocity. They hold on to the next safe zone. They will be able to gatekeep as well. Rev AOL is taking on the fight against 2 Supreme teams all at the same time. And it will be Eva Radicals just going in there for the longer rotation, and they probably will kickstart the fight against VPH Velocity first, Neptune.
Yeah, we have Redus right now who's already knocked down one of Veta Esports, and there goes Redus for another knockdown, but the pickup has been done. Redus will be hit from behind, and this is Forbid's right there. Now, Arky needs to make a move, probably pick up Redus, or probably just clear off Veta Esports. The 2 members of Veta Esports in there needs to go for the pickup as well, so taking advantage of the time that's spent and picking up the rest of the teams of VPH. The 2 members just need to hold off, just back off a little bit from the fight and wait for the other teams to rush in. As we look, Veta Esports is in fight against Rev as well, and no fear going in for the hit against Veta Esports. Veta Esports is the target of everyone around them, AJ.
And the time turner pulled out at the same time by Arky, but he gets knocked down as well. Ritu's trying to help him out, but he's stuck in a glue wall. Everybody else coming in there. Go Ilum, it will be the one and only Go Willem Views getting a majority of those kills. VPH Velocity with 1 final player in here in the name of Ritu's, and we do have Eva Radical sending in a representative as well to see if or not he can steal a couple of kills, but it will be Go Willem Views that scares them away. Sentino and Embalore backing away from this situation. And Ritus actually survives that encounter.
Yeah, I mean, we did mention earlier, you need to back off a little bit because there are a lot of things that's happening in there. And Veta Esports was put in the spot in the middle of everyone else. And Tino will be taken down in there by Redos, and the comeback coming from Embalore. Unfortunate for them, have lost already one of the members. Now, Viewer is in here just roaming around, but we have shots coming in from above, and this is coming from Axis, as well as No Fear trying to hit each other down.
Wait,
Embalore right now is just getting a great placement on that glue wall. We have to find out how will this unfold as the safe zone is going in, AJ.
Laurie almost taken down, but Axis! Top 3, my friend! Take that for consistency, and now Hive for No Fear. Will they turn into feed, or will they be able to bag a few more for themselves? Sneaks just behind that glue wall, has got the double vector in hand, and Hive, he will be able to spray him down, but gets stunned instead. The flash from the one and only Embalore, and now Go Willem Views from the back. Sneaks manages to take him down, and it is game over.
And this is what we're waiting for. I think the wheels right now is giving us a different pattern when it comes. They don't want to be predictable as to when they will be popping off as well as going down. So they've given us a different pattern. Down, down, up. And I guess the next time they are aiming for up. Embalore, Santino, Sticks, Svek, and Wiz right here from Gobilal Wheels taking the booyah in this game.
Oh, Wiz, you may be shy of the camera, but you are absolutely on fire when you step out there onto the battlefield. I cannot wait to see Govilam Views picking up more of these wins, but I do not want to see those wins being followed up by, abysmal rounds, right? And they just need to figure it out. It's not up to us. It's up to Govilam Views to figure out exactly where are they falling short. Because this was one of the best rounds that they have taken in here for themselves. Dominant. And it wasn't an easy circle. It wasn't an easy circle because the teams that were getting into that final circle were all top tier squads, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, top tier, like for the likes of Eva Radicals, Veda Esports. But unfortunate for Veda Esports, they are always in between everyone else. No matter how safe they want to go from the start of the game, once they go in there for the fight, especially on for the final circle, they are being pinched by everyone else. VPH, on the other hand, smart move from them, not really engaging, though they have an opportunity to get free kills. I would say free kills from them. But Retus did a smart move of backing off. If only the other member didn't get out from that glue walls, barricades that they did, then they might have two members surviving that fight and a better chance to go and take the top spot.
Absolutely, man. Eva Radicals overall still being very annoying in that final zone as well, making sure that not many of these teams run away from them, especially not allowing Raytay Esports to catch up. And Axis, let's talk about Axis. They are maintaining this consistency that we did not expect. I pegged them to move into the 7th position probably by the end of the day, and they're pretty much well on their way there already. And we just need one more consistent round from them, right? Unlike Views, who are hitting really high and then unfortunately hitting really low, Axis has been on that steady climb, just like how Bloody Heads has been on that steady climb from competitions of the past. And look at how well they're performing in here right now, in that 2nd spot, although they don't really get to play anymore. Axis can just be that team that has got our eyes fixated on them as they climb this leaderboard little by little, building a bigger fan base for themselves as people lose their minds as to how they managed to improve so much in such a short span of time, because this is worlds apart from where they first started off with Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's more of them finding I would say, their own game. This is their own game. This is their signature game. Staying alive and then later on going in for the finish. That is what they are aiming for right now. And then after that, once it's more of skills. So once you've perfected one, you can go and jump into another one and then perfect that one until you are a great team who can do everything no matter what happens in your game, and like all throughout. If you lose one member or probably miss the opportunity for the placement points, you can still gather the kills. That is what I'm seeing for this team of Axis. The evolution of this team might be greater than what we are talking about right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing that come into fruition. This is a team that wasn't even on the top 10, managing to bag booyahs, and slowly, ever so slowly, they are able to climb up the leaderboards with their consistency, although not in an astounding fashion, right? And that's just, taking our eyes away from them. We're not really paying a lot of attention to their name on the kill feed because they're not really climbing up on the kill feed. They're very, very nonchalant about going out there with those aggressive plays. They're nothing like Eva Radicals, super aggressive, constantly on the hunt for those kills, but very, very well calculated as to which fights they want to take. And that's exactly what we've been asking from these, softer hitting teams in the competition. And Axis seems to be delivering on that request.
Yeah, definitely. And remember on previous competitions, AJ. But before that, let's look at the round standings. And it's Gobilam Waves right now, still 25 points. And I think this is standard right now for those taking the top spot. They're always hitting the 25, 24, 23 at some point if they're unlucky. But 13 kills in here come from Govilam Wheels, followed by Beta Esports, 9 kills, and in the placement point, that's not that much, but they were able to catch up. So it's a different tactic from them right here, but they need to get more of that to be able to get to the top spot. Axis, on the other hand, we are seeing them pop off right now. And this is one thing that we I like to take advantage of the time. Axis is
Mhm.
pretty much the same as what we've seen um
Mm, the previous
from
match.
well, not previous match, but from Eva
Mhm.
Radicals from the previous tournaments.
Right,
Eva
right.
Radicals have consistently used that gameplay and have perfected that to where
Mm.
they are right now. So if Axis still continue the gameplay that they're doing and then improve that, perfect that, they might be reaching in a different style, different manner,
Yeah.
the placement of where Eva Radicals are.
I do not argue with that at all. I see that happening for them, right? A shout out to the one and only Wiz, who is inspiring all of the other ladies out there to be as
Yeah.
amazing as her, right? She is kicking butt out there on the battlefield, and she is absolutely not breaking a sweat at all, right? She should be smiling more confidently for the camera, because I feel like more than Sims, she's going to get a huge fan base after this, because people are going to be looking at her as to how she takes some of these crazy fights. And once again, Neptune, we have to emphasize the play that she has with the camouflage, the play that she has to throw her opponents off with those camouflage gunfights. It's just superb. She started doing it. A few of the other players started catching on to those plays as well, from what we see in here today, right? So Wiz is not just motivating the other ladies, he's motivating some of the guys in this competition itself. And Go Willem Views, that's where they stand overall in terms of how much of great talent they have in their squad. But it's just those very few mistakes that they seem to be doing in some of these rounds that has affected them a little bit. But with this win, hopefully that turns around for them. And I hope and pray that you were right, that today their trend is going to be low, low, high, extremely high, because this next round, the final round of the day, for day number 2 at the Free Fire Challenges Philippines, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, the question is, can Go Willem Views maintain their consistency, or will we see the big brands once again steal it away from them?
Yeah, I mean, they will try. The big brands will try to go against Goblin Wheels. But if they keep this on, find out what tactics really work for them. If it's aggressive, is it passive, or a mix of both, or probably it's more of a combination of we need to be, each of the members need to be in the same level, because we've seen
Yeah.
some of their members go over aggressive while the rest are backing off. So if they balance that off, then they might be seeing more wins and more booyahs in this game as we go back to Bermuda, the OG map, the final map of today. We'll have to find out. Will it be the same name or probably a different name who will be taking the win in this game, AJ?
Yeah, absolutely. And Ambalore, don't take it the hard way, man. I'm just teasing you. But, they have to figure it out. Ambalore has to figure out why did he die prematurely in that round. Because if he had not gone down, I feel like Go Willem Views will most definitely be in that second position already by now. They wouldn't be fighting with Evade Esports. They would most probably be looking at overtaking Bloodyhead and catching up with Eva Radicals, right? So they need to ask themselves those tough questions, because even with the inconsistency, my friend, Go Willem Views is in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, what more if they're consistent in getting the
Yeah.
top? So yeah, no questions asked. They will be in there always, always, always looking down on the rest of the team. But let's see. We have an early engagement right now. Whoa, Gal in
my
there for the quick
goodness.
hit, and there goes the push in there by Mr. Ong, and Gal is on fire. 1 kill already for this team, and AB needs to back up a little bit, but I don't think there's no chance because Axis is on top of them.
Oh, and Axis is just absolutely popping off now. Gal right beside him as they send in one after the other. Laurie with 8 HP left has to get out of there. The bait and switch. Laurie backs away, but finds the player right in front of him. Pulls out the camouflage, unable to get out of the situation. But they will be backed up by the one and only Gal. Laurie gets picked up, and Axis with the early 4 kills. Talk about consistency. Talk about slowly getting up to the top. I pegged them to get the 7th position by the end of the day. I think they most definitely will be able to secure it now.
This is the fun thing about our job. We call them out. They respond. They do well, and I can't stop smiling right now. How well
I feel like
these
a
teams
proud
that we're
daddy.
calling yeah, I mean, we're nurturing them to be a better team. We're not scolding them or anything, right? We're
Sometimes,
just
no,
telling them how
sometimes I'm an Asian father, bro. Sometimes I'm an Asian father. I mean, I can't help it. I was brought up like that. So,
tough love,
so
brother man, tough
tough,
love.
yeah, tough love works, bro. I mean, clearly it seems to be working, Neptune.
Yeah, and they cannot complain. They're doing well. So who's complaining if you're doing great?
Dude,
Hopefully, more of the
we
teams.
sound like terrible parents right now. No. Bad. We always have to listen to our children, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We will listen to them, and it seems like Axis is speaking out. Axis is saying, "Daddy, it is not that we didn't want to perform. It's just that we didn't want to give away those strats. So please calm down. If you want some plays, we'll show you some plays. Well done, son. Well done." Axis is most definitely on fire right now, Neptune.
Yeah, they're responding well. They're responding well. But again, it's a good thing for these teams. There's a chance for us to talk because after that battle, I don't think anyone will go against each other, and especially not knowing where Axis is, they don't want to go against them right now because early, it's only a few seconds in there that happened, and they cleared out the squad. Now, I love how Axis is working right now. All the teams that we're calling out, hopefully some of the teams have heard us just yet. Probably if you have some supporters of those that we've called out, go ahead and mention them somewhere. Send them a message. Tell them that this is, well, in a good way.
Tell
This
them
is what
Neptune and
we're
Mustachio are
saying.
currently scolding you. Can you please step it up? But jokes aside, right? It's just very, very satisfying to see some of these teams really take the fight up against those biggest squads. But we are still in the wait for teams like Black Angel, for example, to show us a little bit of what they have. Black Angel, so far in the competition, I think they have got 1 kill, and that's like unacceptable, Neptune. That's absolutely unacceptable. They need to be able to find some of their shots. And speaking of the one and only Black Angels, they are all spread apart very far. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully some of the teams will take. I know they're taking this seriously, but if they're already doing that more seriously, probably, like this one, being spread apart, AJ, for this part, they know that they're vulnerable at that point, so why
Yeah.
go in that position despite of ego right now only 3 members and one of them is a little bit too far. Yeah, I would say ego has done well already, but it needs to further improve. But against Black Angel, who's in here doing the same thing, so you have to rethink your tactics. Is being
Yeah.
spread too thin working for you? If it's not, then don't do it. If you are being taken down going in the same spot earlier, like what we've seen right now, Ashton being shot at and who might be going down, AimJ has just told them a lesson, and hopefully they'll learn from this.
Oh, Axis on the screen. They are gonna be able to steal a couple of kills in here, man. And Anshin actually managed to pull up the glue wall before getting knocked down. And if one Axis player from the back manages to catch this, okay, he didn't manage to get the steal there, but Axis backs away. But they most definitely hear all of these gunshots. And now Ego Pepper right in front. The rest of those players have backed away, and Axis can now set up a fort for themselves to wait for the players of Ego. Wait to see if or not Ego comes across them. And Ego Oblivions, the moment they do, they might just get obliterated by the newfound Axis.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen great stuff from Axis. More that needs to be seen from Ego. And here we go. We have a Rev right now who's challenging Eva Radicals. Well, I guess they don't know that Eva Radicals. This is the Eva Radicals that they're going against. But going afar from the rest of the teams, Vard might be in a very difficult position because we know Eva Radicals. They rush in there quickly. And the moment that they flank, and there goes Blink for that hit, giving the favor back to Eva Radicals, hitting them with a vehicle gameplay. Probably a smart move, or I would say a questionable move, using that against Eva Radicals.
Oh, and now 1-2, taking the shots up against the one and only Thanamo, but he will respond. One shot makes 1-2 back away, and now Wyatt will be able to take Thanamo out of the equation. Beautiful double nade, and Wyatt will be firing up against Fura. Pulls out the time turner, backs away into it to recover himself, but Wyatt's coming in here for the push. A double glue wall will protect him from Aguila, who backs away, and now Fura comes in for the fight. Time turner pulled down. Smart plays by Wyatt, and the shotgun doesn't save him. He gets sprayed down. Betty Sue from the back knocks down Fura. Barba taken out of the equation already, and Eva, they are suffering, and a radical hit by Aguila. A double nade will put them right back into the mix. Fura is still alive, so Aguila still has an opportunity here. Tosses in yet another nade, gets that kill, and they want to set up the fight. 1-2 goes in for the shot. He's not going to be able to find him. Aguila 2 versus 1, and Eva Radicals shut down in the 11th position.
Yeah, in spite of the exchange, I would say this is a good win for Rev right here. Being able to go against even Radicals, despite of losing 2 members, they can survive. They can end this game smiling, because it's very seldom that this happen. A full squad of Eva Radicals going against you, and then you survive with more than 1 member. That is really a great play from Rev right here. Something to put in their playbook.
There's a delay on the stream, but I'm very sure Govilam Views will be able to hear this before the end of this match. Eva Radicals just went down. What are you waiting for? Down, down, up, up. Let's see if or not they can hit it once again. VPH Velocity back in a way. No Fear on the way to meet them at Kodatua. A couple of Black Angels on the way as well. They don't really have to worry about Black Angels. Black Angels have to worry about who they find as they move towards Kodatua. No Fear, on the other hand, they have been a team that has been, struggling to find those skills, right? They haven't really turned on fully just yet. Maybe they can do it with this engagement, but they're just a little late to the party, aren't they? Kodatua has just been overrun by VPH Velocity right now, and they are already well into these compounds. And even if No Fear does hit right now, it might just turn around against them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the position right now of VPH, has a great sniper from afar, and I think that is what's happening to Redus right here. And Redus is a reverse of shooter, so hopefully the skills is not reversed as well, because Redus has that skills, and I think they're fighting against No Fear and has their sights on Black Angel as well. Now, it might be a very difficult position if in case both teams go against VPH at the same time, but that is less likely to happen.
And let's see if or not they will be able to pay attention to Black Angels as well, because that is just 3 easy kills, right? 3 players sitting down inside a watchtower. A few nades is all they are begging for. But of course, Black Angels, they will get a little lucky, as No Fear kind of teases the players from VPH Velocity, and they are confused as to who do they pick up their kill points from. Peitan backs away towards his sports car just to show us a little bit of where he has been putting his money in so far. But overall, VPH Velocity needs to work a little bit harder if they want to earn a little bit more of that money to buy more sports cars, right? Ritu's catching up with him, and yes, that's exactly what they're aiming for. That watchtower, 3 easy kill points.
Yeah, I mean, I think they figured out that this is the best target for them, because they've shot it several times and they haven't moved just yet. So the response is not that well for Black Angels, and that is what they are taking advantage of. Now, going back to Axis, a team that has great potentials, has a chance to go in and probably take a win in this game, is just setting themselves up on the side of the circle, but we'll have to find out how well will they be able to pull off. Now, back to VPH. They are now getting their sights on Black Angel, and there goes a hit against UG and VPH. I think this is a trigger for them to rush in and go and pounce.
Yeah, VPH Velocity. The question is, when are they going to close this distance? They just need to take that vehicle, drive straight on in. But the way they are going in, oh my lord, that danger zone saving the Black Angels. The Black Angels, although they are fallen, God is still looking down upon them and saying, do not worry, my children. I will protect you. And nobody is here to protect VPH. They are out in the open. Run, Forrest, run!
Yeah, I mean, they're having the higher ground. It's a good thing that some of the members are there from above, but it puts them in a very difficult position because they're out in the open, and Black Angels might see them from that watchtower already. So it's either Black Angel respond to the shots that they have taken so far, or probably move away. But there's no surprise happening from PPH Velocity right there. Now, Beta Esports surprises coming from them, good and bad surprises. Hopefully, this time for this round, we'll see more good surprises from Beta Esports.
Oh my, but it's not a good surprise for Black Angels. They just got rid of one team, thanks to God. And now Vete Esports comes looking for a couple of kills on them. They're literally rotating around the higher ground. Might be able to come across that watchtower. And are Black Angels shooting at them? My goodness me, they should have kept quiet. But now they will fire up and Vete Esports fires right back. Why, Neptune? Why?
Black Angels has been placed in the same position. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same position that they've been previously. And I can't remember which round was it from the previous day, but Black Angels shouldn't have shot at them. It's bad already that one team from the other side know where you are, but having another team from the opposite side finding you out, you will be squeezed in there and pinch really hard.
Gods of RNG just giving it to the Black Angels right now, right here. Have the zone as well. And just get a little bit more time for yourself to figure out exactly what you want to do in this game. And Black Angels will be able to do exactly that, but at the same time, almost nothing much other than that, because they are stuck in a position they put themselves in. And all of the other teams, the saving grace here is it's such an open field, right? So as all of the other teams look for the next safe zone, they are going to be involved in a couple of battles, and hopefully the Black Angels try to steal a couple of kills off of them.
Yeah, definitely. And as we look in the minimap, this is really a good tactic for Monkey Tribe. We keep asking them to go in passively, get a good placement before going for the engagement. And I think that's what's happening right now. They are surviving already onto the next circle, getting under that bridge. Now going into Trot, WYS, we have a Shanks right now who's going in onto the fire pit, going against two members. Ego right now is in play, and there you go, will be hitting hard as well. Twinkle right there is in front, but no! Floki will be taken down by Jacob, and Shanks is still on the roll. A very, very difficult position for Trot WYS right now. Monkey is a little bit too far from the rest of the team, and Navi is in a tight spot, being stuck between waters and the walls, and very, very aggressive opposing team. But there goes Shanks going in for a grenade, and we have a pickup that needs to be done because three members of Trot, the WYS is already down, and there goes Navi and Monkey as well. Floki and Shanks needs to back off a little bit, AJ.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. But the nade by Shanks shuts down Laurie, and he manages to get a knock as well. Shanks with a glue wall practice now manages to save himself a little bit more time as he tries to hunt for that safe zone. Shots coming towards Shanks, manages to recover his health just a little bit, and he will make his way in. Nathan recovering himself, gets knocked down onto the ground. Mr. Ong says, bye-bye, my friend. I gotta get into the safe zone first. Time is ticking. Mr. Ong makes it into the safe zone, but he will go past the players of Go Willem Views, who will ignore Mr. Ong for a little bit. But Reve Yol is right in front of him. Mr. Ong with his bike on fire says bye-bye as he gets shut down as well in the 8th position together with the rest of the players from Axis. And Go Willem Views will be continuing this fight. This time, they find some monkeys in front of them.
And Monkey Tribe right now is in there. They have a good position, but the split up has been done. I think Seika has taken the lead and getting inside the final circle. And we've asked them to be a little bit more passive and wait for their chance to go in for the kill. But hopefully they're not waiting that much because Wills will be in front of them in a few moments. Now, speaking of in front of them, we have BDE Sports right now already inside. Is no fear. So who will be taking down who? That is a question on the other side. Oh, bad luck for Monkey Tribe. They already lose one. And here comes Embalore with the rest of the teams right now. Trying to take wait long, and there's no waiting in here. Embalore will be going in for that kill, and Santino beats him to it.
Yes, Santino definitely beats him to it. But can we please acknowledge how Black Angels are still alive in here, and the Gods of RNG are still giving them more time to figure out what in the world they want to do. but they don't do anything. They're still sitting down inside the watchtower, still waiting, biding their time. I don't see them stealing any kills as well. Raphael is right in front of Mbalore, who goes in there for a quick shot, cooks up the nade as well, and says hello with that one quick pop. Will not be able to find anyone. Raphael gets taken out. Let's Go takes the kill from a fight. Mbalore manages to drop Let's Go from the side of Vete Esports. Can he get the delete? Sees one more player in front of him, and he might be able to knock him down, but Mbalore does not get that hit on point. There was no glue walls to help the players of Vete Esports, and now the rest of the players from the side of Views from afar, finishing off the monkeys before they rotate back on in here, and the Black Angels are still alive, Neptune.
Yeah, surprisingly, and even no fear haven't spotted just yet. Now, Wales right now, still a full-man squad, despite of the situation that they are going in for the kill. And finally, Black Angels has made their move, took down one of the no fear. Sparky is down right now, and McCrory will be hit, or will be going for the hit against Mbalore. And Mbalore, this is what we're talking about, going a little bit too far from the rest of the teams. The focus is on for them, but Veta Esports going in for the rush against Wheels AJ.
Oh, Vete Esports manages to take down Arparf, but he needs to be able to get picked up right now. Arparf goes down, Tiasi taken out of the equation as well. Vete Esports now going in for that one final hit. Wiz staying alive. The Wizkid, the lady, manages to get a kill as well before getting taken down, and Go Willem Views says bye-bye in that 5th position. And the monkeys will still be available in here. McRory gets taken down, and Pan, Monkey Tribe still alive. And the Black Angels with the one and only, now there's exactly that as Jonel puts that final bullet in him. Seika takes a shot from the back. Phaeton will be able to respond. Monkey Drive out, and it will be VP8 Velocity with a booyah.
And what a great final fight that is. VPH Velocity, Phaeton with MVP. The rest of the teams, Binata, Arky, Retus, Jonel, and Phaeton will be taking the spotlight right now. But I really cannot help to commend those teams that have really made those adjustments. Monkey Tribe was able to survive, as we asked for, AJ, to the final circle. They didn't do that much of killing though, but they're finding their way to get those
I'll
points
take that.
instead of dying out early in the game, AJ.
I'll take that, man. I mean, I'll take that. Monkey Tribe in the final zone. I love seeing that. Black Angels not dying, even though they put themselves in the worst position ever. Look, Black Angels, you got lucky. You got lucky that the gods of RNG were on your side this time round. Luck doesn't stick around a lot. Hopefully, we see a little bit more better plays from you guys. The rotations, the strategy just needs to be a little bit more solid. But the kill steals in those final moments, just making the best of that situation. Black Angels most definitely did manage to deliver just a little bit. Axis got taken out a little bit earlier on. And of course, we didn't really see Vete Esports make it through all the way. Go Willem Muse, Wizkid, the final one alive, going in there a little bit too aggressive. I didn't manage to spot if or not she had the glue walls on her, but she had no backup. She had nothing in front of her as well. It was just a moment of chaos that ensued, and Go Willem Views got taken out in that 5th position. Overall, they couldn't hit. It was down, down, up, and...
Well, it's still a good play in there from the teams. It's lack of utilities coming from Govil and Wills, but Wiz in there, really aggressive, really tactical from the game. It's just no backup and no glue walls to back him up. That was a backstab that really took her down in that game. But still, a lot of improvements being seen from some teams. All the improvements right now, we are keeping our eyes on you guys, because we want to see you improve. Like, who's your daddy? AJ, we're your daddy. We are here to tell you. I think that went out wrong.
Not nobody's daddy. That went very wrong. That went very wrong. We apologize. We take it back.
But I mean, we're your we can act as your parents to tell you what you can do well. I think that went really wrong. I don't know what I'm thinking about.
I don't know if that went better, bro. I don't know if that went better. But I'll tell you what, right? It's the one thing that I wish Wiz would have been able to do is when you take such a chaotic fight out there on the battlefield, that's the main reason why the glue walls were developed. That's the main reason why Free Fire has glue walls. Free Fire has glue walls so that you can set it up to either protect your 6 o'clock, to protect your 3 or 9 o'clock, whilst you take those frontal attacks, whilst you it's basically a defender right behind you, right? And that's the one mistake, that's the one thing Wiz just did not have in that final zone. It takes a lot of mechanical skills, it takes a lot of mechanical capability to be able to pop off, back to back like that. We've seen some of the top squads get it done, and I have all of the faith in the world that Go Muse will be able to play in that way as well, right? And Wiz got really close that time round. It's just that they couldn't bag it out because of the unending chaos in such an open field. The only ones that had an advantageous position was actually Black Angels inside of that watchtower.
Yeah, I mean, they're very silent. They got cover in there with a watchtower. No one really minds that they're, or well, no one probably is not thinking that they're there because the BPH might already lost focus on them after what happened earlier when they rotated. So Black Angels had an advantage in there. And as we look at UG right now, being taken down, probably a few more mechanical skills improvement, and they might be able to get more points as possible. But still, improvement from these teams. As we look right now, BPH Velocity is taking the first place in this game. Beta Esports going second. Monkey Tribe. This is their way up right now. They get the placement points plus 5 kill points. A great improvement from this team, but Axis going consistent, still on the top of the leaderboard for a round. They have a long way a long way to go, but they can reach the top if they really start to focus on it, like what they're doing right now.
I mean, they're already on the way there. They most definitely are doing one heck of a job. 3 with the placement points, but 8 kills. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, keep your eyes on to Axis. Who's next? They most definitely were building up a good name for themselves as well earlier on in Group B. We do have to keep our eyes on them as well in the future, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But when we look at Group C, it's these outliers, right? It's the underdog Axis that has just been very impressive all throughout. Monkey Tribe, like you said, this time around, they've most definitely stepped it up. They heard our call outs. They got into that final zone. They got those 5 kills. They were taking some of these big fights against these big teams, and they just weren't going down as easy. They weren't really breaking down under all of that pressure. And most of that reason is because they went into that final fight with a full squad. You need that backup. You need a little bit of that security from the rest of those team members as well. And as we were looking at the recap earlier on, I noticed that earlier on we were asking as to why did Wiz did not use that glue wall. She ran out of it, right? Utilities were all used up already, and it wasn't the final battle. And this is something that Go Views definitely needs to pay attention to. And I also noticed Mbalore making this mistake, using those grenades when it just wasn't necessary, using the glue walls when they just aren't necessary. You waste some of these precious resources, and when they truly are required for you to survive just a fraction of a second longer to be able to get up that leaderboard, you die out, right? And this is something that I hope Go Views will be able to look into and just patch up for those future gameplays, because you need to be able to sustain yourself in that final zone, which is very demanding. But of course, overall, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's take a quick look at the recap of our maps. Bloody Head having the best of days in here today as they bag 2 booyahs in that first round as well as that 4th round. Purgatory as well as Bermuda, they show us that they have got it. Who's next managing to bag round number 2's booyah at Bermuda, and Axis actually stepping up for round number 3. Round 5 was taken by the one and only Go Views in Purgatory, and of course, what you just watched, VPH Velocity, finally showing us that they still are in this competition as they pick up the spotlight for themselves, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I think one reason why VPH Velocity is not really popping off that much from the earlier fights that we've seen is because a lot of teams are already moving up. So this time, they were not really that aggressive compared to the other rounds. They took their time. They didn't push that much. Remember, Black Angels was on their sides and they didn't go in for that push. So they are getting that discipline and they are playing it, I wouldn't say safe, but they are playing it more tactical than usual. So, does the Booyah going into their favor?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And the tactical plays, I'm all for it. It's just that you have to make sure you don't fall away too far behind, because VPH Velocity, the place where they sit in right now, they are quite comfortable, right? And the one problem here is that they are getting a little too comfortable sitting down in the mid back of the leaderboards, right? They need to be able to step it up a little bit more, because the worst case scenario here is those who are at the bottom of the pack, close towards the 12th position, they will be super hungry. They don't want to be anxious. They don't want to be nervous of not making it into the playoffs, and they will be constantly climbing up, right? Who are these teams? You're talking about
Hi, survivors. Welcome aboard. Please fasten your seatbelts and get ready to go back in time and see what we have achieved together. Besides global campaigns, let's check out the local content that was inspired and made by you. These are possible because you played, you commented, you gave suggestions. Thank you for being a part of our journey and an inspiration to us. But worry not, this is not the finale of the journey. To mark the end of 2021, we are thrilled to present our last campaign of the year. Stay seated, the new age is coming.